That's nice. An offense that score points? That's nice too. Stifling defense? Even better. But it means nothing now. Good afternoon, it's Ryan Waters and Jason Casey as we get you set for this BC Conference semifinal game between the number 1 seed in the conference, the Okanagan Sun, taking on the number 4 seed, the Valley Huskers. It should be a great game here today, Jason. These two teams have met twice during the regular season. The Sun dominated a shutout win in Valley and then a 60-14 victory a couple weeks ago here in Kelowna. That must just give you the confidence as an Okanagan Sun team to just, I wouldn't want to say assume you're going to win, but it does give you that confidence, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they know they've been clicking all season. As you said, 10-0. That obviously proof is in the pudding that they're dominating the conference thus far. They just need to continue to excel what they do best. They understand that they're going to run the ball. Their opponent knows they're going to run the ball. Just dominate that line, control the pace of play, and start putting points on the board for the Huskers. They're trying to come into hostile territory on a semifinal game against a team that's dominated you the past 2 seasons, arguably, right? It's an uphill battle, so we should be looking to see the Valley Huskers throw everything, including the kitchen sink at the Sun, just to see if it can't catch them off guard, to catch a break, to hang in this game. But realistically, yeah, it should be an Okanagan Sun victory today, but stranger things certainly have happened in playoff football.
Glad you mentioned the run game. Noah was just terrific. It set a new BC Conference rushing record, 1,600 plus yards, 23 rushing touchdowns. Valley knows that. Everybody in the stands knows he's going to get the football. Yeah. How come you can't stop him?
He's for me, the tough thing, as a former linebacker and defensive coordinator, the tough thing about Noah is he does not go down easy. So if your first guy, your first man at point of contact to hit Noah doesn't wrap him up, he's getting yards after contact every time. He's going to make that first guy miss every time. He has such a great low center of gravity. He has great self-awareness of his body as well. So even when he's getting hit and knocked, he knows how to still run north-south. And that's really difficult for a defense that you don't secure him. First guy, just get there, even if you're just hanging on his back. Slow him down, let the cavalry come and help you. So I think for a lot of guys, they try and go for kill shots. He's not by stature, he's not a big guy, but he's a powerful runner. And if you do not wrap him up on first contact, he's going to get that 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, and that what makes for a long afternoon for the defense.
Let's stay with the Okanagan Sun offense for a second. 17-year-old quarterback anticipating getting the start. As a Valley Husker team with an experienced coaching staff, do you want to get after him, throw a bunch of blitzes at him, try to confuse him?
Absolutely. But the caveat to that is he's got a great O-line in front of him, right? Exactly. So you've got the number one thing to combat that is with a great run game. That creates your linebackers and halfbacks who might want to blitz have to know, okay, where is Noah and Tristan Peddle? You got to know where number 1 and 7 is. Then in passing situations, if you do get the Okanagan Sun into second and short, well, then it comes down to, can we create opportunities for a mismatch on the O-line or disguising a delayed blitz to get into there? But it's also, Philippik is very smart for a young quarterback. He gets the ball off quick enough to his receivers that he doesn't need to be in the pocket for 3, 4, 5 seconds where you can get to him. If he's feeling that pressure and it's a passing situation, he's got those receivers in Shamalok and Lynn and Faulkner that when they get downfield, just give it to them that 5, 7, 8 yards, get the ball in their hands, they'll do the rest. Yeah.
For the Valley Huskers offense, Tyron Duvall, 20 touchdown passes, over 2,000 yards. He's very good, but he has to get the ball out quickly too, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Get the ball out quickly and see if they can establish Harb as well. So Harb's the number 2 runner in the conference as well. So the Valley Huskers aren't slouches when it comes to their offense, but it's when you're there. We already know in 2 tilts against the Sun's defense have been able to shut them down respectively to what they've done against other opponents. So can the Huskers establish their passing game effectively enough to at least get some drives? You don't want to get 2 and outs against the Okanagan Sun because they'll change the scoreboard very quickly against you. And then if you can get Harb establishing some runs where maybe he's getting close to his average per rush, if you can get into second and short, that'll allow you to go up against the D-line of the Okanagan Sun, all-star linebacker and Jacob Bond, the great secondary. It allows your playbook to be a little more elaborate if you get into those second and shorts. If you try and get ahead of yourself too quick, if you're the Valley Huskers, the Sun can just sit back, pin their ears back, and they're going to dominate the afternoon.
We talked about this upstairs before coming on the broadcast. The weather, first of all, is stunning here for a fall Okanagan day. But this field, Valley plays on turf, the Sun play on this long grass, arguably long or not. I saw a lot of receivers for Valley slipping and falling during warm-up. Is that a factor? Is that really something that we should be watching?
100%. If you've never played the game, if you've never strapped on cleats, there's a big difference between grass and turf. Natural grass, I love playing on natural grass, but the advantage is to the teams that play and practice on natural grass when they go to turf. They become faster and more agile. They're able to cut a lot better. When you come from a team that practices and plays predominantly on turf and you come to a grass field, you absolutely get it, half step slower. Your footing's a little different. You're not used to it. Maybe your cleats quite aren't long enough to get into the grass because you don't need long cleats in turf. So there's a huge advantage for a team like the Okanagan Sun all season long, playing home on grass and going on the field on turf. So yeah, I would imagine we're going to see probably a couple of issues for the Huskers when they're so used to being on turf, coming here, and especially a great sunny afternoon like this. Once the sun dips down and that temperature drops, you get like a dew on the grass here. And if teams aren't used to that, we could possibly see some guys lose their footings, and that might create wide open situations for offenses.
Interesting. Head coach of the Huskers, Bob Reese, told me beforehand that his team didn't practice on natural grass this past week, so that'll be interesting. One more point we wanted to point out is that you'll see a lot of pink. See a lot of pink on the players' wrists, on their uniforms. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's great that the BC Conference allows teams to wear pink, isn't it?
Yeah, and they absolutely should. For causes like this, where it's good for the conference, it's good for the players. I mean, what human hasn't been impacted in cancer in some way, right? So when you can get situations like this where we've got a couple of thousand fans in the stands and these players, and this will be on, on TELUS and on BCFC TV, it shows great camaraderie for everyone involved, and absolutely it's great support for the BCFC to get involved in something like that.
It's the Sun and the Huskers, a BC Conference semifinal. We'll have the kickoff coming up for you very shortly. Stick around.
It's a program that allows us to tell our history a little bit more directly to the players that have come through the door here. We've always had our graduating players sign the wall as they leave. There was a fire in the early 2000s, and a lot of those signatures were lost. And this gives those signatures that were lost and anyone since then an ability to tell their story by putting their name permanently in the locker that they sat in. This place is second to none, and that story is told first and foremost by the players that have played here.
We must pay homage to them. I'm paying homage to the ones that's real, nothing to the fucking fake. Gassing up that I think you need to pump
the
your
Okanagan
brakes.
Sun will be national champions.
The Okanagan Sun 2022 K Bowl champions.
Like I'm Jesse James. Who's got you? Who's got you? When shit ain't good, who's got me? I hope you do.
I just get a win. Me personally, I just want to win as a team. But focus this week, got to start out strong. Our defense is holding their end. The offense needs to be better. Having to come back in the second half is not ideal. Like, it's good finishing strong, obviously, but it's not ideal. Like I said, we want to come in hot. Like, we want to be, four-quarter team, not just a second half team. The mind thing, you got to prepare your mind and body. But yeah, get a win. My name is Leon Noah, and come watch us at Pretty Not Bad this weekend.
The culture here means a lot. I think you can kind of feel it in the coaches and the alumni that used to play here. Everybody's really passionate about the Sun. You can see by all the names on the walls in here, the national championship walls and the wall of fame as well. It means a lot playing here for me. I'm gonna give it my all every night. I think from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, I don't quit. I'm just gonna play with some intensity out there. As a linebacker, you got to play with intensity, or else you're playing the position wrong. So that's what my goal is this year, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm Jacob Bond, and I play linebacker for the Okanagan Sun.
I just want to sniff for the taste of success, just to know that I'm blessed. I ain't going back. The haters, they pray on my downfall. The homies like, I could have told you that.
I wasn't expecting that much people. I wasn't expecting all of that. Having Langley as your first opponent, home opener, is crazy. Those are the best at the same time. I put on a show for the crowd, a nail biter. A lot of nerves, but it was a good one. It feels good having a strong defense to back me up. Like, we had probably two missed plays, and we had an amazing D-line amazing linebackers, Grayson and Bond, and they made plays for us. And it's good to know that, hey, if someone messes up, we have someone hell of a player. Dogs just pinning their ears back and making plays no matter what. And back against the wall, we had a couple goal line stops, and we made the stops that were needed. That's what helped the team get back, that energy. My name is Kevin Williams, and you can watch the Okanagan Sun live at Pretty Not Bad.
Going into the game, I think all around we felt pretty comfortable, pretty good. I felt like we had our game plan set. Offense and defense got off to a little slow start, rocky start, first 2 quarters. We made our adjustments and came out in the second. Being home after 3 away games is definitely a refreshment. It's going to feel good to play in our home again with our home crowd. And just knowing that the fans are ready to see you and they can't wait to see you, they're just itching to get back, is probably the best part about playing at the Apple Bowl. They're always very, very supportive. Good thing or bad thing that happens on the field always lets you know we still got you back. And I love the Apple Bowl for their fans and all that, and just the support we get. I love it. My name is Ahmed Borhat. Catch us at 7 p.m. at the Apple Bowl.
My mindset going into the home opener is just enjoy the moment and take it all in and focus on my position and do the best I can to execute and get the plays done and help my team win, have a good time, and go 1-0 and just keep that mindset the whole season. The best part of playing for the Okanagan Sun is the culture and like the atmosphere when you go into games. It's like there's just so many fans. Every single time we come out to a game, it's loud, the energy's there all the time. So, and the view, just playing here, just even going to practice and like getting to walk out. There's mountains everywhere around you, the sun, it's beautiful here. My name's Tristan Peddle. I play running back for the Okanagan Sun.
Time as we get set for this BC Conference semifinal between the Valley Huskers making their way onto the storied turf here at the Apple Bowl, just ahead of the home team, the Okanagan Sun, the number 1 seed in the conference, taking on the 4 seed, the Huskers. The winner moves on to the BC Conference Cullen Cup Championship game happening next week, either here in Kelowna or somewhere else. For the Huskers as the 4 seed, they won't get another opportunity to play a home game this season. Prior to the game here this afternoon, I had a chance to sit down and talk with the head coach of the Sun, Travis Miller, and this team, who is coming off a bye week, asked him, the bye week in the last game of the regular season, does that hurt or help you?
I think from our standpoint, we enjoyed having a week off. At the same time, the last week of the season isn't always ideal, but from our standpoint, we're healthy and as healthy and happy as we can be going into this last game.
So, level with me, how healthy is this team?
I would say it's the healthiest version of this team that I've seen at this stage in the 3 years that I've been the head coach.
The last team you played was the team you played today, the Valley Huskers. Is it beneficial for you to have that game with them just 2 weeks ago to understand some of their nuances?
I think that game wasn't indicative of the two teams. We had 3 punt return touchdowns, which, they haven't given up all year, and we technically haven't had those all year. So it's a scenario where, I think 21 points can come off that score, and at the end of the day, it's a lot closer if that's the case. And that's how we've approached it. They're a very well-coached team, very, very great athletes across the board, very bad intentions at some points, which is great, and some great guys overall.
You shut out the Huskers earlier this season. You beat them 60-14 in the last game. Is it tough to get your guys motivated? It is the playoffs, so that alone should be motivation, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think overall it's a little difficult to get guys up for any games after you've had a bye week, but let alone, one where you beat a team handedly. And like I said, we've kind of preached to the guys that it's one of those scenarios where that game isn't really indicative of what the final score is or where things are at, and we're approaching it that way.
So knowing that, is there some play or something that you want to see right at the beginning of the game to know that your guys are in this game?
I think I just want to see our guys execute the game plan and mind the fundamentals, which is something that we've pushed really, really hard on this week. And if we see that going into it, I think we'll be okay.
No doubt they're going to key on Noah. Do you throw some other wrinkles in? Can we see some balls being thrown down the field today?
I think our game plan is going to be to run the ball as best we can, as it has been all year. I don't think it changes because it's the playoffs. Everybody's tried to take away Noah this year. I mean, we haven't blocked for him, so technically we've tried to get rid of it. We haven't done the best job for him either. So I think from our standpoint, he's the best player, in my opinion, in the country, and we're going to let him ride him as best we can.
Defensively, how do you stop them? How do you slow them down?
You know what? I think everything runs through their quarterback, Tyron Duvall. He's a stud, and he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, and our game plan is to shut him down, and hopefully that'll allow us the best opportunity to win the game.
It's October, the sun is out, there's not a cloud in the sky. Is this the perfect day for football?
This is, 20 years ago when I played here, it seems like this is what the fall was like, and we haven't seen it for a few weeks. It's been cloudy and rainy, so to get a day like this is pretty incredible. It reminds you why you want to be here every week.
Thanks for doing this. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
That is the head coach of the Okanagan Sun, Travis Miller, joining us for a couple of moments as the Sun now are introducing, I believe they're graduating players. And maybe we'll just throw it down to the PA announcer and take it away.
A 20-year Okanagan Sun from Winnipeg, Manitoba, receiver number 89, Hubert Cindy. A first-year Okanagan Sun running back from London, England, number 23, Obi Bazunu. His second year with the Okanagan Sun, offensive lineman from Stettler, Alberta, number 65, Luke Martin. His first year with the Okanagan Sun.
As they actually but introduce the graduating players, I had a chance to talk to the head coach of the Valley Huskers prior to the game today. His team as the 4 seed, they're 5-5 during the regular season, a couple of losses coming into the postseason. I asked him basically, how does this team feel coming into the postseason?
Feeling good. I mean, we had a good week of practice, getting prepared. Obviously, didn't finish the regular season the way we wanted to, and I think that moment has left guys with a sense of urgency and a determination to get back on the right track. And obviously, going in and facing the number one team in the conference, if you're not motivated to do that, then you're doing it wrong. So. We took that approach to the week of practice, and I think our guys are prepared and ready to go.
You coach them as this is a clean slate, it's a new season, it's the playoffs, what happened in the regular season. You think about it, but you don't really dwell.
Absolutely. I mean, that was part of the message this week. It doesn't matter what your record is at this point. It's you've earned the right to be here. You've earned the right to play for the opportunity to go to a Cullen Cup, and it doesn't matter. At this point, whether they're 10-0 and we're 5-5, we're in the same game. And so that's the approach. It's one game. It's one game. You're not looking at a total season and trying to pick where you went wrong and what was right. It's go out and play your best game of the year. And if you can do that, then you put yourself in the conversation.
Saw them a couple weeks ago right here at the Apple Bowl. Does that help a little bit in preparation, knowing what to expect, the grass?
Yeah, I think the guys, are familiar now, I guess, with the field. I mean, a lot of our guys have been up here before and understand the environment and everything that goes along with it.
Hatred, love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see you rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
it's a difficult task. He's a heck of a football player. He's one of the better football players I've seen in this conference in a long time. He's a talented kid. So, yeah, if we can control, and obviously he's still going to get some yards, he's still going to do his thing, but if we can limit his success and make sure that we're forcing the hand to go somewhere else, or we're forcing different looks, that would be beneficial for sure.
That is the head coach of the Valley Huskers. Joining us for a couple of minutes, that is Bob Reese. Ryan Waters and Jason Casey alongside. The teams have been introduced. You can see the captains now on the field at the center dot, and they are going to be doing the coin flip, and we're going to find out who wins the first half. The possession. First possession. First half.
A little ahead of yourself there, two T's.
Yes, I apologize. So, Jason, let's look at some of the keys to the game for both teams. The Sun, I mean, they want to run the ball. The Huskers want to stop the ball. Is it that simple?
I was going to say, it is quite simple. The Okanagan Sun, like I said in the pregame, just want to continue to excel at what they do best, and we know that starts with number one, Noah. So establish your run game, get the tempo going, and finding out also, does that mean the Huskers defense, are they going to key on him, which is going to create opportunities for his teammates?
Yeah.
You know, are they going to be able to run the ball? Maybe some of their slot receiver reverses that they love to play. Quick passing game from Philippek. So we'll see what Noah's, opportunities that the Huskers present are going to allow to his teammates. And yeah, for the Huskers, they need to limit, if not eliminate, a lot of their 2-and-outs. They need to try and get some first downs and move the ball. Worst case scenario, to at least control some of the clock to keep that offense from the Okanagan Sun on the ball. If not, get themselves into field goal position to at least hang for a little bit, and we'll see just how long before the proverbial wheels fall off the bus for them when they were playing against the Sun.
Well, they have a lot to build upon. Do the Huskers? They had some success early on. They faltered as the season went on. Certainly the last couple of weeks, they were in Nanaimo last week. They lost to Nanaimo in a heartbreaker. They had a big lead. They lost that lead. Then 2 weeks ago here at the Apple Bowl, they were blown out 60-14. So obviously the Huskers are the underdog coming into this one, but they have nothing to lose. There's no expectation on them, so they can play free football.
Lay it all out, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I will say that they are banged up, and at this time of the year, everybody's banged up. But for the Huskers, last week, one of their offensive linemen broke his leg in the game. Yesterday, another offensive lineman was in a car accident. He's okay. He's going to play today, but he's sore. His ribs are sore. His midsection is sore. And for him to try to block somebody.
Yeah, you're an offensive guard, and that
tough.
might be an issue for you. And you're going against, there's 2 all-stars in the D-line for the Okanagan Sun. You've got an all-star linebacker in Jacob Bond. I don't know. That's going to be for a long afternoon if I'm hurting that much and I've got to play O-guard against this defense.
Good for him to
be
suiting up.
To be young again.
That's right. To be young again. The Sun will receive the football to start this game off. The Huskers setting out their kicking team. And Falconer back deep for the Sun, as is Parker. Gage Parker is an interesting story. Joined the team, I think it was week 4, from a rugby team, and came to the Sun. I believe we called that game together, Jason. I think he had a touchdown in that game against the Prince George Kodiaks. So the Huskers will tee it up from the 45, and we are underway in this BC Conference semifinal. It'll be Falconer getting at his own 12, and he'll try the right side, coming back up the middle. Nice breakthrough by the Huskers to come through and make the nice tackle. That was Nick Reimer, who came through the line out of nowhere and made the hit and stuck him, and that's where the Sun will take over at their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, so we see Faulkner retrieving the ball deep left and just trying to come across that formation, possibly set up his wedge blockers and see if there's a gap. But, the turns were tied on there with Reimer coming, and he knifed through, stayed in his lane. Great job, stayed low. Great open field tackle from big man Reimer.
So here comes the rookie, Marek Philippek, the quarterback for the Sun. Completed 66% of his passes against the Huskers in the 2 games. And now the referees are blowing it dead as they want one of the receivers. That looks like it's
uniform adjustment.
A uniform adjustment.
Might be Shamalak? Was that Shamalak?
Burden.
Oh, Burden.
As he needs help. So already a wardrobe malfunction in the very first whistle. So Philippek, who completed 10 passes for 104 yards against the Huskers in the 2 games. You might remember he didn't play a lot in Valley. It was Kroger who came in and played in that ball game. But Philippek played in the last game. Philippek wants to go down the field right away, looking for Falconer, who makes a diving catch. How about that? Jordan Falconer Gets all the way to the 50-yard line of the Huskers. Just when you think, okay, Noah's going to get the football, they go down the field for Falconer.
Right away. Quick play action pass. So you've got the typical formation where your slot backs are coming across and becoming the fullbacks, which is their predominantly run look. You see the linebackers and halfbacks bite on that, and obviously the corner got caught a little flat-footed, and Falconer was able to get by him, and then Philippek put enough air under it for him to get under.
So into Husker territory on the first play. They'll give to Noah. Here he comes. Noah will get to the 45 and keeps chugging and gets to about the 40-yard line. Great run by Noah. Should have enough for a first down. It'll depend on the spot.
Pretty darn close. Yeah, the nose of the ball should be piercing through that. So there's a 10-yard run right off the bat. And again, we see him. He's getting contact at about 5-6 yards. And because he's such a powerful runner, he's going to get that 3, 4, 5 yards after you think you're going to be knocking him backwards, and he just keeps pushing you back.
That's the
powerful runner.
50th carry for Noah against the Huskers, and he's up to 358 yards this season against Valley. Just shy of the first down. They'll fake it to Noah, give it to Melanson, who makes the reception, but he's hit immediately. Great play, jumping the route. That's Raiden Matson, the all-star.
All-star, and you could just see that. He sniffed that out right away. He saw what was happening. As soon as he sees Statham step back, or Melanson step back, he knows exactly what to do. I got to beat my block at that point of attack and get in there right as the ball arrives.
And how about that? 2nd and inches turns into 3rd and 5, and the Sun are going to have to kick.
Huge play by Maston.
Grady Hay, another all-star for the Sun. The all-star punter will come out, standing at his own 50-yard line. And the Huskers will have Luke Rodriguez going back deep, standing at his own goal line. And Hay, decent kick, good air time. Rodriguez from his own 2 has it, avoids 1 tackle, gets the 5, and not much further after that, maybe the 7-yard line. So this is going to be tough field position for the Huskers in their opening drive of the playoffs.
Yeah, just enough hang time on that by Hay to allow his coverage team to get down there, to get in Rodriguez's face, so he can't set up his own blocks. He couldn't use he had so much real estate to his right, but because the coverage got down there so quick by the Sun, he wasn't able to set those up.
And Rodriguez goes down after getting tackled.
Well, it looks like he's a little stiff.
Maybe a cramp.
Yeah.
That's a big loss. Rodriguez has been terrific as the wide receiver position. 5 catches and for 51 yards against the Sun in the seasonal series.
Yeah, and one of your top returners and receivers, you don't want to see them having issues with stiffness or crampness already, the first 2.5 minutes of a football game.
So the starting quarterback, Tyron Duvall, will come out. 2,179 yards during the regular season, tied for the conference lead with 20 touchdown passes. And against the Sun, in the seasonal series, he completed 49% of his passes, which were pretty good. 25 completions, 335 yards against this Sun defense, a touchdown and a couple interceptions. Rodriguez will pop up like nothing happened and jog off the field. So good to see he's okay. So Tyron Duvall will start in a shotgun with those pink tape around his feet. And he's got Harb in the backfield. A guy that not a lot of people talked about. Harb had a terrific season, 966 yards on the ground, 2nd in the BC Conference. And Duvall going to go to the air right away, throwing it up top and just out of the reach of the receiver, Stephen Koniak. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, and Koniak had a step on his man back there as well. He got separation from Ferreira on that. Beautiful play call by the coaching staff for the Huskers to try and get some real estate behind them away from their own goal posts, and just a little too much on that corner route. Great separation, great decision by Duvall, but just a little too much air into that ball.
Interesting. Both teams starting with a pretty long pass to open up their offensive set. Duvall back to pass, going to go to the air again over the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off and bringing it back the other way and tackled at about the 22-yard line. That interception made by Ferreira.
So
his first of the playoffs.
So that's Koniak against Ferreira again. So back-to-back plays. This time it's underthrown, and Ferreira is able to jump that route and get that pick.
The pressure coming on, I believe it was Bond that came through right there. Yeah. It was Ninameni that came through.
And that could be the reason why it was underthrown, because it messed up the timing and the read of Duvall, knowing I can't take a sack right now. I've got to deliver it, and it's easy for me to say you should have overthrown it as opposed to underthrown it, but when you're getting smacked in the chin like that, it's easier said than done.
Philippek going to keep it himself. Looked like a bit of a broken play as the Sun will lose yardage here, lose maybe 3. It'll be 2nd and long for Philippek and company.
I mean, it's a small sample size, but kudos to the Huskers defense right now. Got beat on that first pass, of course. They got caught lapping a little bit on that outside edge.
But no one would get the hand up.
Exactly, right? So the front seven, though, they're holding their own against this all-star laden O-line for the Okanagan Sun.
A 2nd and 13 from the Husker 24-yard line after the Ferreira interception. Philippek in a shotgun. Going to go to the air again. Philippek looking, sets up the screen to Noah. Noah has it at 20-15. A little blocking in front. 10-5. Touchdown! A 24-yard screen play to Noah. And he gets into the end zone for the opening points of the playoffs.
Textbook screenplay. We're going to see on this replay, Noah goes in like pass pro, so it's a passing situation. He comes up to that weak side edge to help protect the front side of his quarterback. Makes it look like he's whiffing on his block and then just sits. But Philippek, for a young quarterback, does such a good job of looking downfield to allow 3 O-linemen to get out there in front of Noah, and does a great delivery right there, and then the rest is just the 3 hogs in front and Noah getting to pay dirt. This is textbook screenplay.
Extra point is up and good. So the Okanagan Sun leads 7-0 with 11:08 remaining in the opening quarter. This, of course, coming off the interception by Ferreira. The Sun were a plus 27 in the turnover ratio during the regular season.
That was one of my favorite stats as a coach, is the plus minus.
Yeah.
That really shows what you're doing on your offense, defense, and specials. Love the plus minus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus 27 you
That's
love as well.
Absolutely.
The Huskers, conversely, were a -3, and they threw 12 interceptions, now 13 if you count this one here to Ferreira. So after the screen pass, the 24-yard screen pass to Noah, you're used to calling Noah getting touchdowns on the ground. This time he runs it in after a pass play. Johnson and also looks like Andrea back deep for the Huskers, awaiting this kickoff by Grady Hay. And here it is, in the direction of Johnson. He'll get into zone 11, and here he comes. Johnson waiting for some blocks to set up, gets to the corner, the 20. Tries to cut it back upfield, but good pursuit by the Sun. And the Huskers will come out for their second offensive opportunity.
Yeah, and that looked like Xavier Webb that was able to stay home and protect that outside containment on that. Yeah, good return by Johnson. Get across that formation, allow your wedge blockers and second levels to take the brunt of the coverage by the Okanagan Sun, and just try and use your long legs and speed to get it around as much as possible. But being at your own 34-yard line is a really good place to start.
Much better field position than their opening drive when they threw the interception. So they'll start it with their own 34-yard line. Duvall in his shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. And he'll go to his right side, quick hit, and it's a pass completion to Rodriguez. He gets to the 41-yard line. I think that is something that the Huskers will need to do, is get the ball out of Duvall's hands very quickly.
I was going to say, I don't dislike this idea. A quick, kind of pseudo play-action pass just to give, hey, you know what, yeah, we do have the number 2 running back here, but get the ball into your throwing situation and get that out before the linebackers can get set.
No huddle by the Huskers as Duvall will send it here near side. Koniak makes a reception, breaks a tackle, gets into Sun territory, and it'll be caught from behind at the Sun 49-yard line. Great pass and catch there. Koniak making some happen.
Yeah, exactly. I really like this as well. So you've got man coverage. You get a little bit of separation based on that quick out by Rodriguez coming out there, and makes that first guy miss, get upfield, get those yards after catch.
Fensky, came over for the eventual tackle, the 17-year-old. So into Sun territory at their 49-yard line. Duvall in a shotgun. 5 receivers again to work with. Another quick hit. Gets it to Rodriguez, who muscles his way to the 45-yard line. First down.
Yeah, I like the tempo that the Huskers are doing right now. Like you said, they've got a quality arm in Duvall. He's got all those yards and touchdowns. Let his receivers get to the situation. Zone coverage here. So a job as a receiver, zone coverage, is to find those holes and sit. Give your quarterback a target to hit in between those linebackers and in front of that free safety.
And a referee blew it in, then stopped. Now he starts it again. Duvall in a shotgun. He had 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Harb in the backfield. Another quick slant. This one to Peyton Lake. He makes his first reception. Another, be close to a first down, depending on the spot.
Yeah, and again, you just get your slot backs getting up there. They understand what they're doing, so these quick little hooks give Duvall a target, get in between those zone coverage, allow him to hit you right in the numbers, secure that ball, and just lean forward, try and get as many yards as you can before you start getting smacked by the linebackers and halfbacks. So.
Gain of 9.5, it looks
Good
like.
tempo.
Yep. They huddle up very quickly this time. Duvall going to remain in a shotgun with 2nd and inches. Harb in the backfield. He hasn't had a handoff yet. This time he does, and he is dragged from behind. Good penetration. Ninamani was able to break through the line and just held on to the jersey of Harb.
Right away. And Ninamani's been doing such a good job of doing this all season with his timing coming off the edge. This time he stunted in, which is great. So whether they had a switch call with his D lineman, if you tell him to go outside and you knife in like that, great call by Ninamani if they made that switch. But he's done a great job coming off the edge all season. And to get into darn near right at the point of handoff into the backfield and know that you've got the jersey in your midst right away behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by Ninamani.
And Harb comes off limping as they lose yard. Duvall going to go deep down the field. This one is caught by Konananek, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Exact same play. They didn't connect on the first series. Duvall, the quality quarterback that he is, he knew how much to put on this ball the second time around, just in a spot that was away. So that it looks like it was underthrown, but I bet you that was done on purpose. He put it in a spot where the adjustment by Koniak was that I had to step underneath, collect the ball, which takes you away, gets you that separation from Ferreira in coverage, and then able to make him miss and get that touchdown. Great drive by the Huskers.
Absolutely. A lot of quick passes.
And they controlled that line of scrimmage. Yeah. Aside from that tackle for a loss by Ninamani, they controlled that line of scrimmage.
The extra point is up and good, and this playoff game is tied at 7. I'm not sure where the line of scrimmage was at. See how far that pass actually traveled for Duvall.
I don't think it was quite 30, but yeah, it was probably in that ballpark.
Because they lost
maybe
yards
a little
on
deeper.
That.
Yeah. Might have been around the 35-yard total air time. Yep.
We'll
or air
call
distance.
It 35. We're unofficial anyways. This broadcast very unofficial. So 7-7. I don't think anybody would have thought that early on, especially after the interception, and then the Sun get great field position. They go down the field and have a touchdown strike to Noah. The Huskers coming right back, and as you alluded to, great drive and terrific job of maintaining the line of scrimmage.
No, and they didn't panic. They didn't try and do something they're not used to. They've got a quality quarterback that can deliver the football, and that's exactly what they just did on that drive.
So they'll tee it up from the 45. Kickoff in the direction of Falconer. Chase back to his own 5. He has it there. Falconer, 10, 15, 20. Finally runs into some traffic. Gets through the hole to the 30, 35, 40. Sheds a tackle, fumble. Ball on the ground, and it will be picked up by Walker, who is trailing the play. He makes the recovery. Decent return. Even better play by Walker to be right there.
Again, and he's so good at doing that, especially on his punt returns as well, is that he's patient. And, we talked about during the season at various points, he reminds us of Mike O'Shea Jr., how it looks like he's not full head of steam, how he's not hitting, like a batter to hell to those gaps, but he's waiting to see what's happening with his blocks, finds that first seam, and then hits it straight up. Big return, but good recovery by the Huskers to try and force a fumble.
That was Johnson that came back out and knocked the ball free. So Philippek with 3 receivers on the right side. They give it to Noah. He'll go up the middle, and Noah is swarmed there. Petal. His first carry of the afternoon, and he goes nowhere.
Yeah, and I think that was 30 Ofashuene that came in there. And again, just stood him up, but wrapped up. Whether it's Petal or Noah, you got to get that first point of contact, wrap him up, and that's exactly what they did. And then the posse comes and helps as a 4-man tackling, which is what you want to see.
So 2nd and 10. He did get back to the line of scrimmage from the Sun, 43-yard line. Petal in the backfield. Philippek. Back to pass, has time. He goes down the middle. Falconer has to go through his hands, and it's a quick 2-and-out for the Sun offense.
Little behind him, I think, as he was crossing and getting in between that zone coverage. I think it was a little behind him as he tried to make that adjustment in between the 2 linebackers. And as we see, too, as they got up, we're starting to get chippy. We're starting to kind of get the smack talking going there with all-star number 7 Banel against Faulkner.
That was a bullet, too.
Yes. Philippek's got a cannon.
So, back to punt with Rodriguez. Good to see he's back up and healthy at his own 25-yard line. Hey, good
Beauty.
high, long kick, chasing Rodriguez back to his 20. He mishandles it.
He touched it.
He has to go back and get it. He does, just barely ahead of the Sun cover team.
Beauty bomb by Hay.
Let's see who the Sun player was that was coming back.
Pretty close.
Great job.
Yep, getting right in him. And Rodriguez knew he was coming as well. As soon as it came off his fingertips, he knew, I got to see how the ball bounces, and I need to get my body on top of this thing.
So after a good defensive stance by the Huskers, you would think they would have good field position, but because of the mishap by Rodriguez, the ball bounces all the way back to their own 10-yard line. Well, 1st and 10 for Duvall. And Harb not back in the ball game either. Duvall going to go to the air. He has Johnson near side who makes the catch right in front of the Husker bench. Short gain, but that's seemingly what the Huskers want to do. Get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly and find somebody down the field.
Yeah, get a feel. Are the Sun going to bring pressure? Are they going man? Are they going zone? Get an idea of what they're going to do when you're in your own red zone like this, and see how you can distribute the football to try and get a couple of first downs.
Gain of 5 from the 15. Duvall, a bullet to Rodriguez, goes through his hands and almost into the waiting hands of Williams.
And that was Ninamani breaking on that too. Really read it well, coming into his zone coverage over top of the shoulder of the intended receiver. Great job tipping that ball.
Williams was right there, the all-star. He's slow to get up because he's thinking,
oh yeah, no, that's a pride slow getting up there. He's like, I should have had that.
So Falconer will go back to receive this punt from the Huskers kicker. Yapin standing at his own goal line. Flags fly. Yapin gets a nice high kick away right in midfield. This is Falconer. He's going to try the left side. Falconer gets to the 50, now the 45, 40, cuts it back, and he'll be dragged down at about the 37-yard line. Nice tackle again by Johnson.
Yeah, a couple of nice special teams tackles by the sure-handed returner and receiver.
We'll see what the flag is, however, from the official. It's against the Sun. Now, depending on when that happened, could that be a potential first down? It was 3rd and 5.
Yeah, so if they're, depending on the spot, I think even if it's a 5-yard penalty, say like defensive offside, I don't know that it's going to give them a first down, but it could create a 3rd and short. Yeah, I think they're going to be.
We have offside on the defense.
I think
multiple
they're still
players.
Short.
5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, so 3rd and 1.
It looks like the Huskers are sending out their offense.
Bringing out their offense. Here we were talking about
Wow.
throwing everything out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little early, I think. You're hanging in with the team. It's a tied game. You're on the road. Maybe you don't need to do it right, but I'm up in the booth, and I'm not calling the shots on the sidelines right now.
I wonder if this is called trying to draw them offside again.
That can
just to get
100%.
them, you know.
You've got
And they
time.
call
Maybe
a
you bark
timeout.
out a couple of hard counts, like an Aaron Rodgers, and see if you can get someone to jump, but.
Well, Kader Hulgan has just checked in, too, and he's a big defensive
Big
lineman.
D lineman, yep.
We'll see if they try to get a push. Duvall is up under center. They're going to go for it. Duvall over the right side, and he will get the first down. So the gamble pays off, and the Huskers keep the football.
Slow clap for Coach Reese. Good job on 2. And that's him saying to his offense and especially his O-line, okay, guys, I have confidence in you.
Yep.
You're in tough. Let's get it done. This is playoff football. You guys control that line of scrimmage. Get us this first down. We don't need much. Just move those chains.
Yeah.
Yep.
And really, they didn't need much at
No,
all. It was
no.
under a yard. But still, it's still a gamble because of where the ball is placed. So they get it.
And the quality of the front 7 you're trying to do it against as well. Yeah.
5 minutes to go, opening quarter, 7-7 here at the Apple Bowl. Duvall in a shotgun, hard back in the ball game as well. Good to see. Duvall, another quick pass. This one just short of his intended receiver, Koniak, and it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and you can see him patting his chest there. He knows that's him, Duvall. And I like that he's delivering the ball so quick so the pressure can't get to him. But I think he's throwing it too hard, which translates into him releasing the ball too late. And that's why the ball's driving into the ground. I think he needs to take a little off, but still deliver quick.
4 receivers to the right side. Duvall looking that way, going to go down the middle. This one is too far out of the reach, and a big hit on the intended receiver, Koniak, who fortunately gets up. I didn't see who nailed him, but
I'm actually amazed they didn't flag that, considering what we've seen flagged all season.
Right
like
there.
it's overthrown, and yeah, he's going. I don't know. But even
Ferreira,
even Koniak didn't even think that it was a flag, right?
The defense.
Ah.
That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
I didn't see the flag.
The
but
All-Star Williams gotten in there, so I don't know if they were doing some jamming that we didn't see or some downfield in the coverage, but he's getting his hands up into the grill of his opponent.
And it's a first down, automatic first down for the Huskers, getting the ball to the 38-yard line. So they keep the football. Duval in a shotgun. They give it to Harb, who goes up the middle. Harb will get hit at the 40, fall forward. He's so tall he'll get to the 41. Short gain for Harb. It'll be second and long for this Husker offense.
Yeah, you got to keep that front seven honest, so you got to throw in some of these run plays, even though the pass game's working so well for you thus far. But Harb actually had a really nice cut lane to that left side, that weak side. If at least from the booth, it looked like I thought he had a chance. If he would have done a hard cut to the weak, I bet you that was almost a first down run.
So 2nd and 8, they gave him 2 on the carry. A pass that is, I think, caught. Yeah, it was
Beauty
caught
snag
at the 50-yard line. That's Rodriguez with the reception.
Yeah, the star receivers for the Huskers are stepping up thus far, and even with targets being off a little bit, that was a little thrown too far outside where he was settling into his zone, more towards the halfback, as opposed to being in the middle of the halfback and linebacker, and he took a bit of a shot while he extended himself, but shows why he's such a quality receiver for Duval.
So they'll place the ball at the 51-yard line of the Huskers, moving the football with the help of a couple of penalties. Duval in a shotgun. Duval going to go to the air again. Another quick hit, this one to Lake. Lake sheds a tackle, but there's a second Sun right there to bring him down. Ferreira looks like he was in on the stop. Statham was sniffing around as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think there might have been Fensky as well. Fensky coming up on that missed tackle, so he was coming up a little too hot on the inside shoulder. Yeah, was it Statham?
That eventually brought him down. Yeah. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. They're calling it right at midfield. Duval in his shotgun. Ooh. One of the receivers may have jumped.
Yeah, they're going to call Huskers, unfortunately.
That was Mora on the far side.
Mora's going to argue. He's arguing right now to that side judge. Now, I was reacting to the defense, and, well, no, son, you're the receiver. You can't move off the line like that.
On the Sun move.
Yeah. There was one guy that jumped in. I don't know if it was at the same time, but that is what Mora's trying to argue. To no avail.
So that'll push him back 5 more yards. They put it at the 50-yard line.
I was reacting to the D-line, honest ref, and I didn't see the ball once they got into the neutral zone. Really, it's not. They went first.
Oh,
no.
if you're honest, then okay. So 2nd and 11, they're calling it. Duval walking around. Maybe changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Sends Harp in motion, empty backfield. Duval has time this time, goes down the middle of the field looking for Harp, but blanket coverage there by the Sun. That was Bond with the coverage.
Yeah, they were in man coverage here. He's making his reads, trying to just dump it over the middle, like that short middle. A little too high. If he got it low, it would have been harder for Bond to strip in, so it probably would have been a catch and a tackle, although probably still short of the first down. But that, again, these tip balls that we're seeing bounce up, that's where you're going to see these secondary opportunities for the coverage guys to get picks.
So back to kick is Yapin, standing his own 35-yard line. Falconer at his own 30. Here's the kick, good high kick by Yapin, picked up by Falconer at his own 26-yard line, makes the first guy miss, running out of real estate, however. Good coverage by the Huskers, able to get down very quickly. There's some more jawing back and forth.
Yeah, not a great amount of distance on that kick, but the hang time was great, which allows your coverage team to get down there against a top-notch returner like Faulkner. This is what you want, is nothing but white jerseys in his face, and he's got nowhere to go.
So here comes the Sun offense once again. They'll start at their own 33-yard line from the right hash. Just over 2 minutes to go, opening quarter in a 7-7 tie. 4 receivers to the right of Philippek. He's got Noah in the backfield. Philippek going to give it to Falconer. The wide receiver end around, and he's tackled for a loss.
Yeah, and that was Ofa Shuene, number 30 there, the quality linebacker for The Huskers, and again, we see this so often, these jet sweeps, because they either come up between the tackles as a fullback blocker, or if they continue across the formation, they either go into coverage or they've gotten the handoff. And the Huskers do a great job reading that exchange from Philippek and recognizing that Faulkner was trying to get the edge and turn that into a tackle for a loss, which is really tough to do against a quality runner like Faulkner.
It was the all-star Tyson Holgan that was able to get penetration. So 2nd and long after the loss. Philippek to the air, looking for his man. He got his intended receiver, being caught by Craver. A short gain, not enough for a first down.
Yeah, and good coverage by Harker, right in his hip pocket. There's only one spot for Philippek to fit that, and was just over the shoulder of the defender, and that was a great open field tackle. Sorry, and that was the all-star Banal, not the linebacker Banal in coverage, not Harker.
So a 3rd down, good stance by the Husker defense. And Hay back out to punt.
Early doors, but great job for the Huskers hanging in this first quarter.
Quite a good road quarter, that's for sure. Rodriguez standing at his own 25-yard line. Hay with the kick. Good kick, angled towards the sideline at the 30-yard line. This is Rodriguez, gets to the 35, and not much further after that. Nice hit by Peddle, who came through and made a nice special teams tackle.
Yeah, the Sun are so deep on their special teams that a lot of their, number 1 and number 2s that play specials. Also, this is playoff roster. There's less guys on the roster, so you need your guys to step up, but they're so disciplined and well coached. They're so good at these open field tackles and limiting big returns on kickoff and punt.
38-yard line is where the Huskers will set up shop. Not to psych anyone out, but I haven't seen one receiver slip and fall. We've been talking about the grass and the length of it and the slipperiness.
Shows how much we know, eh,
yeah, that's right. Duvall down the field is cut by Lake, who bounces off a tackle, goes forward and gets down to the 45-yard line.
And watching the wide view of this play, based on how it came off his hand, I thought he was going to Cognac as well again, number 13, because he was wide open the opposite seam, even deeper. They're really pressing this coverage of the Okanagan Sun, whether they're in man and zone, and this is just really good. On this wide, you'll see, so even that number 3 receiver coming, right? So they were coming from the same spot, but the way they split up, it kind of hamstrung the coverage.
Down to the Sun, 44. There's a jet sweep, a reverse. Cognac has it on the reverse, has some room to run to the 40, the 35. Cognac gets to the corner of the 20, the 15-10, and be pushed out of bounds. Inside the 10-yard line, it'll be 1st and goal.
All right, so it's not the end of the first quarter. We see our first trick play by the Huskers to make an impact statement, and that was so well called and so well executed. Everybody bit on that initial jet sweep, and then that quick little handoff to Cognac coming off the edge. There was no one out there except for the corner who was covering Johnson. I believe it was Johnson who was out there that was blocking. And this is great downfield blocking by Johnson.
Yep.
And it was just enough to get into his, I think that might have been Lewis, into his grill, but also to not get a flag. So often downfield, receivers try and do too much, and they get caught for holding. So kudos to Johnson of springing his teammate down there, and I think they're not quite inside the 10. So they can't get a first down, but they can get a touchdown here.
Terrific quarter by Johnson. He seemed to be all over the place on special teams, came around, made that tackle for the fumble, and had a great block there. As Jason said, 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line as we open up the second quarter. 7-7 the score here in this BC Conference semifinal. The other conference semifinal happening in Langley right now, West Shore and the Rams. We'll try to get a score from then when we get an opportunity. 1st and 10, Duvall. Duvall hits. Mora had it and dropped it. He had a touchdown.
That little hop in the air and get it, so as he was trying to bring it down into, I don't know if he kind of hit his own hip or if it just hit his hands and dropped like a brick right away, but they had an opportunity. Yeah, I don't think it was knocked out. I think it was just Mora not quite securing the ball.
The kid from Venezuela.
Good call, good timing too. That should have been a touchdown for the Huskers.
2nd and 10 then from the 10-yard line. Early stages, second quarter. Duvall with 4 receivers to his left side. Duvall going to go down the middle, has a man, dive, touchdown, Rodriguez.
What a catch. And I think he landed on the ball. He winded himself as he secured and tucked that ball. He landed right on top of it. But great diving. And again, he's making his reads. Duvall's making his first, second, third read. He's got to deliver that ball where only his receiver can get it. almost a little too much, but Rodriguez, knowing that the talent that he is with the speed and hands, lays out, and what an awesome turn.
Catch.
Yeah, what a great drive again by the Huskers. 2 great scoring drives by the Huskers, the underdog Huskers.
The Huskers taking their first lead against the Sun this season. The extra point is up and good. The Huskers lead it 14-7, stunning this crowd here at the Apple Bowl. 14:25 remaining in the opening half. Again, set up by that trick play that brought the Huskers down to the 10-yard line. And a score from Langley, also a surprise. The Rebels beating the Rams 17-7.
Yeah, I don't know what stage of the game it's at. They're half an hour ahead of us, but yeah.
Still, wow.
So that might be
Interesting
halftime,
scores.
but yeah.
Some interesting scores so far.
Playoff
BC
fall
Conference.
football, 2Ts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The 2 quarterfinals in the Ontario Conference were today as well. GTA had to forfeit their game against the Quinte Skyhawks, so the Skyhawks moved to the semifinal. First time they've been there and won a playoff game, but it was by forfeit, so do you take a lot of that
Well,
celebration?
it's a W.
It's a
Move
win.
on to their next opponent. That's all you can do.
And the Ottawa Sooners beat the Hamilton Hurricanes handily 38-9 today, so they are going to be off to St. Clair to take on the juggernaut of the Saints in the Ontario Conference semifinal next weekend. After the touchdown, they kick off in the direction of Falconer. He has it at his own 11-yard line. Falconer into the middle, runs into his own guy, and then runs into a couple Huskers for the tackle.
And again, a great victory on this coverage for the Huskers. Good hang time, but they're not allowing the Sun to get outside their own 35. It was that 35-yard mark of your own setting up your offense is where you deem whether that's a big return or not. So to me, to keep, again, the Sun inside their own 30, I think that's a great kick and coverage by the Huskers after getting the lead.
So how did the Sun adjust and respond after that touchdown drive by Duval and company? A great catch by
A healthy
Rodriguez.
taste of Noah.
Which we haven't seen a lot
Nope,
of.
Nope.
And Travis Miller telling us in our pregame interview, we're not getting away from our game plan. We're going to hand it to Noah. Well, they didn't do that in the first quarter. Here is Noah. Runs right into the teeth of that Husker defense and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, and this is what I think Coach Wolfhausen, the OC, and Coach Miller and other coachings, and Coach Gamboris, the quarterback coach, they want to see. Okay, are the Huskers front 7 going to lay everything out on the line to stop Noah? If that's the case, you still got to keep him back there so you get that front 7 to crowd the line of scrimmage. Then you can start distributing the football out into your receivers. So I like that the Sun are doing this just to see what the Huskers are trying to do against the run attack.
They gave him 2 on the play, so 2nd and 8. Philippek going to go to the air. Has time down the field for sideline. It's intercepted. Picked off. Back the other way is Masden to the 30, the 20, the 15. And it'll be first down and 10 from the Sun 15-yard line. Raiden Masden with an interception.
Wow, and I like the read that Philippek was doing here. It was just underthrown. I think if he's leading his receiver downfield, now it's triple covers. There's a lot of white jerseys out there, but they also had other options for the pass. But I think it's just he misread how much arc I think he had to put on that ball, and he put it too low instead of trying to drop it over top of the coverage shoulders to allow your receiver to run under it. Wow, 2 T's.
The All-Star as well, so that's a guy you don't want to pick on very much. So 1st and 10, I think everybody in the audience is saying, wow.
Coach Miller's doing timeout.
Coach Miller is all the way on the field. He's in.
I think he was trying to call the timeout throughout this start of this offensive play for the Huskers, and he's quite angry that the refs weren't aware that he was trying to call the timeout.
So 1st and 10. The Sun captain will come out and talk to defensive coordinator Shane Beatty, who's also on the field. Talking to Jacob Bond and Kenley Williams. 12:59 to go in this opening half. And it's the Huskers in front of the Sun, 14-7. So the road teams in both BC Conference semifinals holding a lead right now.
Well, if you're going to ask me what situation I would have thought this would have been, I would have thought it would be the Sun with their foot on the throat of the Huskers, not the other way around. Right now, the Huskers got to keep going after this juggler. They've got these opportunities they cannot let slip, because the Okanagan Sun can very quickly get control back of this game and turn the tides on the scoreboard. Huskers need to take advantage of this.
Duval in shotgun after the timeout. Sends everybody to the left side, gives it to Lake. on the jet sweep. Jake Lake, pardon me, is hammered out of bounds. Dinamani came over and just delivered a knockout blow to Lake.
And that's just speed on speed, right? So you got two guys full head of steam colliding like that. You know they're both going to get pushed backwards. So
they brought everyone on the offensive side over to block somebody. Oh, pardon me, that was not Dinamani who came over. That was David Lewis.
Oh, great job by Lewis. Again, a great hitting defensive back.
So 2nd and 9 they're calling it. Duvall, quick throw, and it's too short for Lake. Took a hit at the end as well. No flag. Do you see a flag out there? No.
I don't think so. No. No, and again, I think it's just released too late. I think the trajectory of how he's delivering that football is not coming off high enough from his hands. So that late release is why the ball is diving so quick to his receiver's feet.
Gabriel Yapin, the kicker for the Huskers, will come out to attempt a 21-yard field goal from the left hash. Huskers trying to add some more points after that interception by Maston. There's the kick. It is up, and it is good. And the Huskers tack on 3 more points. 17-7 with 12:08 remaining in this opening half.
Matching scores in the 2 semifinals, as you were saying.
Yeah.
With the road teams getting the advantage. And this is what happens in playoff football, right? You get these miscues, you get these opportunities where you're either caught napping or you're making mental or physical mistakes, allowing the team to get an advantage over top of you. That said, the Sun know how to correct those. They're well coached. They've got the horses and the talent to do that. How quickly can they make some adjustments and try and close out this first half just to show the Huskers that, hey, don't get too excited. You're still in our house. We're still top dogs. Here's a taste of what we can still do against you.
So the Sun elect to get the ball at the 35-yard line. So here comes Philippek and company, 4 receivers to his right side. He's got Noah in the backfield. And they give to Noah. Noah going to try the right side, and he is tackled once he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That is Holgan, the all-star, will drag him down for a short gain.
Yeah, and I think Vidal, the all-star linebacker as well, coming up from second level. Again, are they keying and spying? I haven't been able to quite tell if they're spying on Noah when he's back there with one of their linebackers, or is it just we're respecting the run first, then we bail into our coverage?
So 2nd and 7 from their own 38-yard line. Noah again in the backfield, 3 receivers to the left side this time. Going to go down the middle. He has a receiver. It is caught right there at midfield. And it's Kromalak who will make the reception. It'll be 1st and 10.
Again, recognize zone. Find your second read on that. Looks like he was looking wide right first, then came back to the middle. Saw Kromalak in that middle zone between those linebackers, but in front of that safety. Get the ball in his hands, move those chains.
Kromalak in his first playoff game after being the quarterback for the VI Raiders the last couple of years and missed out on the postseason. 1st and 10 from midfield. Noah out of the ball game, and they give it to Petal. Petal will go up the middle, bounces off the tackle, still running, and it'll be thrown backwards after a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd and probably 7. The Huskers actually came up with the football.
Yeah, there's Ofashuene coming up, number 30, their linebacker. But I'm liking what the front 7 for the Huskers are doing, controlling that line of scrimmage. The caveat to that is I'd like to now see the Okanagan Sun try and do some play-action pass with their running backs leaking out into coverage. I think that would really turn the tides on how the linebackers for the Huskers are crowding the line of scrimmage.
Philippek in a shotgun. He's going to take off on the quarterback draw, and he'll be hit. Loses the football, and the Sun will jump on it.
Oh, enough for a first down, unfortunately for the Huskers, because he was stopped short. He was stopped short, but the ball fumbles forward, and because he didn't progress it, he just jumped on it. They'll gain that first down yardage and possession.
Sebastian Lee was the
Tough
man
break
to jump on it. So first down, as Jason mentioned, at the Sun 43-yard line. Noah back in the ball game, back in the backfield. Philippek will have some miscommunication. I'm not sure who actually has the football. It is the quarterback, Philippek, who turned one way. Noah went the other way.
Yeah, we do not see that often. No. There's not usually miscommunication in the backfield between those two guys all season.
It looks like Noah is taking the responsibility the way his body language is, and it looks like he's apologizing to his quarterback. They did get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even gained a yard. It'll be 2nd and long. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, with Noah in the backfield. Philippek gonna go back to pass. Philippek, short pass is caught by Trommeluk. He gets to the 40, has Mantle just holding on for dear life. He reached for it. I'm not sure where the first down
I think
marker
he's
is.
a little short, but he
is.
used every extension he had from toe to fingertips when he extended that ball to try and get out before his knees hit.
So a
Good
third
open field
down.
tackle, though.
Yeah. And the Sun are going to send out special teams. Not sure if it's the field goal unit or if it's the punt unit. It looks like a punt for Hay.
That's too bad.
So
I mean, that would be, what, a 43-yarder? That should be in your wheelhouse.
I can hear coaching staff of the Huskers watch the fake.
Yeah.
No doubt. This is not a bad field position to try a fake if you're the Sun. Hay has it. Hay is going to actually kick it. His kick end over end. It will be
too bad.
Andrea who gets it and falls down inside the end zone. And they got a single point to the Sun.
Yeah, we've seen Hay kick a lot like that this season, that kind of rugby-style kick where he'll run, and whether he's given carte blanche on to decide whether he thinks he can pick up a first down or not, and if not, you kick the ball, but if you see daylight and you got some blocking in front of you, the coaching staff may say, get the first down for us, but otherwise kick that ball, and we see that a lot of that end-over-end rugby-style on-the-run kick that Hay does most of the time, yeah.
So 8:11 to go, opening half, 17-8. The Huskers have the lead. They'll push the ball out to the 35-yard line after the single point. And after 17 unanswered points, the Sun get a single back. So Duvall in a shotgun. He's been terrific here so far in this semifinal. Duvall, another short drop. This one is intercepted. Picked off. Fensky with the interception. The ball ended up right in between the 2 and the 9. He said, thank you very much.
Well, I don't think the receivers on this knew where Duvall was trying to go with the ball. There was 2 in that area that it could have gone to. Was that Cognac and was it Lake? Yeah, sorry. And I don't think they quite knew who to go after it. And Fensky just happened to be the one where, okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
So miscues, again, is what we're seeing on both sides of the ball happen, whether you've got a brown jersey or a white jersey right now. Uncharacteristic mistakes by these offenses.
Second interception thrown by Duvall. Fenke has his first of the postseason, so he brings the ball back down to the 22-yard line. That's where the Sun offense will come back out to work. And they give it to Noah. Noah's going to try the left side to 30 to 25, the 15, pardon me. And he'll be brought down about that 15-yard line. So short pickup again. But positive yards for Noah. I maybe should say short. That was a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, I mean, it's along with his average, but it's good to see that there's still a lot of white jerseys around him. So the Huskers are still doing a good job keying on one, limiting the damage he can do to you, and allowing them to have this lead. But we'll soon see whether the Sun can start getting him more daylight to work with, like we saw on that screen where he scored, or do they need to start distributing the football by using him as a decoy?
So 2nd and 3 from the Husker 15-yard line. Noah again in the backfield. Offense is shuffling around now. 3 receivers. That was Melanson in motion. They give it to Noah again. Noah trying to get to the corner, sidestep to the 10, the 5. Noah stretches, and it'll be knocked down inside the 5. Just
and there is a
the
flag
goal
on
line.
the play, 2 Ts, but I don't know if it's going to be defensive offside or someone else, because they did allow the play to develop and still go on.
Here comes the official to tell us more.
Or could it be holding?
We have offside, number 52 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down, Okanagan.
Okay, call Jason. So down to the 3-yard line. And the Sun will send in a couple extra big bodies, including Bond, the linebacker.
I love this short yardage offense they run with this.
It's the 1-yard line, pardon me. I thought it was the 3. Hickingbottom also in the ball game. And Noah in the backfield with Hickingbottom. First and goal from the 1. They give it to Noah right up the middle. Noah gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's tough to stop.
From the 1 yard line? Yeah. 23 touchdowns during the regular season on the ground. He has his first of the postseason with 6:25 to go in this opening half.
Yeah, just big on big at the line of scrimmage. You bring in a couple of defensive stalwarts as well, and then just give that in a power I formation. You give Noah, who doesn't need a fullback the majority of the time anyways, but if you're going to give it to him, he knows that I'm going to get this across the goal line.
Atwood will kick it through, and the Huskers' lead now is suddenly 17-15. The Sun taking advantage of 2 interceptions. They have 14 points on 2 interceptions. Great field position, and Noah eventually getting into the end zone twice in this opening half.
Well, that's what you want to see, especially when you're coming off a bye week. You haven't played in 2 weeks, so you want to make sure that when you're presented situations that you need to capitalize on, you do it. And we've also seen the Huskers do the same. They had an opportunity to finish in third, slip through their fingers last week. Yeah. They're doing everything they can to hang in this game and not allow something else to slip through their fingers if they can secure an upset. I'm liking what they're doing. It's the longevity of what the Huskers are doing this afternoon. Can it turn into 4 quarters of football? Yeah. Or is it going to start, as I said, start spinning away when the Sun go, no. This is our house. Well, we're 10-0. Let us show you how it's done. Yeah.
And at halftime, coaches have a chance to adjust.
100%.
And we'll see.
Calm your players down. Say, hey, these are mistakes. We can correct them.
Yep. But credit where credit is due.
100%. 100%.
A terrific game so far. Hayes kickoff in the direction of Johnson, who's had a nice game. Johnson back to his own 7. He has it, gets to the 10, the 15. Johnson tries to step around, and a nice open field tackle at the 15-yard line. And the Huskers will take over. Not bad field position. They've had better, but they've had a lot worse.
Not bad, but I think Johnson was just starting. I think he was a little too tentative and dancing on where he was going to hit, instead of attacking that first wave and seeing if he can't make a guy miss. Don't try and dance too much when you're too close to that first wave. Otherwise, they catch you as you're making a plant instead of just committing, making that first guy miss, and then possibly seeing if you can start juking some of the coverage.
Huskers will huddle up coming out for this offensive set. 6:09 remaining in this opening half. Duvall in a shotgun like he's been all afternoon. He's going to give it to Harb. Harb will try the left side. Almost lost the football. He was juggling it when he got hit by Bond. Falls forward for a gain of 5.
Yeah, as he was deciding to make his cut, I don't know if he was looking to change hands on that, but yeah, right on that point of contact as he was making his cut, I think, Bond might have just grazed the football, which allowed it to possibly get a little loose in how Harb was holding it.
They gave him 4 on the carry, so 2nd and 6. Duvall going to go back to pass. Duvall going to go deep down the field. His receiver falls down. It's intercepted. We'll see if a flag is down. Bohart with the interception. I'm not sure why everyone has stopped playing.
Well, I think it is forward progress by Bohart. He did have his ankles tackled on that, but I think that's just unfortunately coincidental conduct. I don't think it should be a PI. It really sucks for the Huskers because I kind of like the idea. I think there would have been an opportunity for Johnson to go up and get that ball, but unfortunately he just got slew-footed. Was it Johnson? I thought it was Johnson.
Well, I'm not sure the officials are talking. The Husker offense is still on the field.
Because I don't think I saw a flag in the backfield, and we certainly didn't see one on that
Number 27 on the
I didn't see the flag.
That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Result of the play, first down, Okanagan.
Wow.
I thought it was incidental contact downfield, which those defenders are allowed to that real estate as well if you're not impeding or clutching and grabbing. So
here's the play again.
Oh, yeah, see on that, was he maybe pushing in the back a little bit on that? That's tough.
Was Johnson, though. You're right on the intended receiver. So 1st and 10 after the penalty. Duvall Running for his life, he'll run out of real estate, bounces off one tackler, still with the football, throws it downfield, has a man. Koniak with a reception, stepped out of bounds at the 45-yard line, call it the 44-yard line. What a play by the quarterback Duvall.
Yeah, and this is Yobo, number 40 for the Sun, coming off the edge, beating his man. Two guys there, should have been dead to rights, but Duvall showing just how much of a quality quarterback he is. Getting outside, breaking that, it would have been a big sack, a big tackle for a loss, and delivering a football on the run like that to a wide-open Koniak. Great job.
So into Sun territory at their 43. Duvall back to pass again. Going to go down the middle of the field. This one is over the head of Koniak.
And Ferreira had an opportunity for another pick on that. Yep.
Koniak seemed to be wide open. He just overthrew.
Overthrew. Yeah, 100%. And if he's delivering that ball a little lower, that's the perfect spot in front of the free safety coverage and in behind the linebackers. So, and Duvall knows that. He knew right away that was on him.
So 2nd and 10 from the 43. They're electing not to huddle up. They're looking at the coaching staff of the Huskers, who are doing an airplane mode on the sideline to get the play in as a helicopter flies over the Apple Bowl. This is Duvall. Coverage breaks down. Duvall looking down the field. He has a man, and he overthrows Peyton Lake. Lake got himself open there in the corner, but Duvall just couldn't hit him.
And Duvall was close to getting over the line of scrimmage on that too, which would have been a penalty and loss of down. So, yeah, again, just overthrown. It's tough right now. The coverage that both teams are doing, there's moments where it breaks down, and then there are moments where it's so good, it's making it hard for both quarterbacks to either find that sweet spot of not overthrowing or underthrowing their receivers in that tight coverage.
So like we saw the Sun earlier, maybe a potential fake punt. This is also not a bad spot for the Huskers to fake a punt from the Sun 43-yard line.
Yeah, knowing your defense has been playing well.
Yeah. Falconer back deep, high snap. Ball has been booted away. Falconer will have it bounce, gets it inside the 10, and he's hit out of bounds. Good coverage by the Huskers, and the ball.
Big man Reimer downfield in that punt coverage. Good job seeing a D lineman down there on punt coverage, I tell you that.
You like that.
Good job on him,
coach. Down to the 9-yard line. So tough field position for the Sun. Great job by, again, the Huskers. And certainly the Huskers have been outstanding. I mean, obviously on the scoreboard, but
I'm quite impressed with how they've bounced to not only the previous 2 losses that they've been handed against the Sun, but also what happened to them last weekend. This is kudos to the coaching staff and the mental fortitude of these players to come in on the road like this and put up a first half like this.
Get them ready, yeah.
Yep.
So 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line, 3:50 to go in this opening half. Noah in the backfield. Melanson in motion, they give it to Noah. He'll go up the middle. Noah, maybe his best run of the afternoon so far.
Yeah, and that little misdirection might have opened that up between the tackles for him with that jet sweep coming across. You fake that jet sweep coming across, then you do the handoff to Noah. It allows that the linebackers still have to respect that jet sweep option, and then Noah's able to hit that line of scrimmage with a little more real estate to work with.
So 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard pickup at the ball at the 15-yard line. 4 receivers to the left of Philippek. And again, fake the jet sweep, same play, go up the middle. This time the Huskers snuff it out. It'll be close to a first down.
Yeah, I think it might be short, though. I think the Huskers did what they needed to do there. Good job on that front 7, I tell you. Just enough to make Noah have to do that initial cut before he hits the line of scrimmage. So just behind the line of scrimmage, that first cut, as opposed to 3 or 4 yards downfield, the Huskers are doing a really good job of making Noah think how he attacks the open gaps.
And they are short of the first down. So another 2-and-out by the Sun offense. 2 handoffs to Noah. And the offense will look for answers as the Huskers hold, and the punt unit will come out.
And I think the Huskers still have both their timeouts as well. And this should be the 3-minute warning, no? Because I don't think we've had the 3-minute warning as well.
You're right. They should get good field position.
Yep.
Back to receive the punt is Grady Andrea. Standing at midfield. Surprised not to see Rodriguez back there. And Hay will just go kneel down in the end zone to concede the safety. So 2:44 to go in the opening half. The Sun concede a safety.
Yeah, very impressed of how the Huskers have flipped the script of what probably the majority of the people who aren't related to someone on the Husker staff thought this first half was going to go. Completely flipped it on the Okanagan Sun. They're taking advantage of mistakes by the Sun. Even though both teams are making mistakes, the Huskers seem to have done a very good job of controlling a line of scrimmage when odds are they were going to get manhandled. And then also the field position battle right now is probably tipped in the hands of the Huskers.
So the Husker offense will come back out and get it at their own 35-yard line. Borhat, one of the great defensive backs for the Sun, trying to get his team not only calm down, but also get them fired up to make a play here defensively. So 1st and 10, 2:44 remaining second quarter. Harb in the backfield along with Duvall. There's that formation again. They send everybody to the left side. They give it to Peyton Lake. Who's going to throw? Lake throws it down the field. It's intercepted. Hot with a pick.
Bad decision. And as you said, to get his team ramped up, there's Borhat on that. But this, unfortunately for Lake, he should have recognized that I'm going to get hit, so I've got pressure. I can't see downfield enough to know that I'm throwing into double coverage. Yeah. Either throw that ball away or just run to the out of bounds.
But hang on. There's a referee conversation, and he's going to come and tell us
we
more.
Have illegal forward pass on the offense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play. First down.
Oh, was the exchange forward? If it was a forward handoff lateral, that's a forward pass, which means you can't have a double forward pass. Otherwise, like I can't visualize the handoff right now. So let's see.
Here it is.
Yeah, see, because that's in front of him. That's if it was behind Duvall, they would allow that double. Yeah, to be able to do it. That's they're catching him on. Great eye by the refs. Wow, I didn't see it in live time. And I'm usually dumping on the refs.
Circle your calendar, mark the time. As Jason Casey gave a compliment to the referee. And slipping and falling his pedal, and that's the first player we've seen slip and fall, and it's a member of the Sun that falls down as the turf monster got him.
Yeah, he was really trying to cut hard as he was seeing about 4 white jerseys if he was going to try and run to the sidelines there. So right decision, but just a little too much torque on his feet right there, and they couldn't stay underneath him.
Did get back to the line of scrimmage, which is the Sun 48. 2nd and 10. Falconer in motion. Philippek back to pass. Has time. Goes over the middle. This one is caught but hit immediately. Good coverage by the Huskers. Making the catch was Craver.
Yeah, great coverage. He's not getting the pressure in his face, so he doesn't have to panic. He can make his reads. But right now, the only thing that the Huskers are giving up are those short little zone, I guess, gaps in between their linebackers. They're not giving anything wide. They're not giving anything deep again. They're really settled down into their coverage and really making Philippek have to deliver the ball quite accurately, but for not much real estate.
Good coverage by the Huskers. So back to punt will be Hay. Andrea going back to about his 20-yard line as well to get this kick. 19-15, Huskers with the lead. Hay's kick. Andrea will let it hop, and he'll pick it up at about the 15-yard line, make it the 13. Andrea will come back up the field and run right into the arms of a Sun coverage man.
I think that might have been Bond.
It was.
Yeah.
Short return, but it was a positive yards after the Sun-friendly hop. 1:51 to go. And the white jerseys of the Huskers will set up shop again. Their offense comes out from their own 24-yard line. And for the Huskers, they need to keep the ball. They can't afford a turnover.
That's
here.
just it. They need to win the possession. Time of possession, 100%.
Oh, 1st and 10. Duvall going to get chased out of the pocket. Duvall running to his left, still running with it. Duvall going to throw it towards the sideline and out of bounds. Was still trying to complete it to Lake with blanket coverage. dangerous pass.
Yeah, seeing if he could drop something along that sidelines, but all-star Remillard right on his heels, trying to chase him down. See if he can't make something out of nothing, but puts it in a spot knowingly that if my receiver can't get it, it's enough out of bounds that it won't be a turnover.
And here comes the referee with another call. I didn't see any laundry.
There is no penalty on the play.
Okay. So 2nd and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Now the Sun defense, conversely, can hold here. They'll get the ball back with time and decent field position.
And I believe one timeout, because they did use one earlier in the half. Yeah.
So 2nd down, and the offense of the Huskers with Harb in the backfield right beside Duvall. Duvall going to roll to his left immediately. His pass is caught by Mora. He makes the reception and knocked it out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, short of the first down. Pickup of 7. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I couldn't see if that was 20 or 29. So Ferreira or Fensky on that.
It was Fensky.
Tackle Fensky. Okay, thank you. So great job on Fensky, though, knowing that I'm not going to allow him to get that first down. Because if he doesn't make that tackle, his teammates that were coming, he's getting that first down.
So 2 and out by the Husker offense. And just like we talked about, the Sun defense now holds, and they should get decent field position. And instead of Falconer going back to receive the kick, it is Gage Parker. So both teams, interesting, changing up their punt return run. I don't know if I read too much into that, but something noticeable. Yapin's kick is a low line drive, bounces, takes a Sun bounce. Picked up by Parker at his own 51. A flag flies, no yards, and Parker runs to midfield, and he's tackled there, but should be, I would imagine, just 5 yards.
It should be. I was going to comment, yeah, that should just be 5 yards. They did show that they were trying to get out of that halo. They weren't encroaching purposely in there, so it shouldn't be 15 yards.
Here comes the official with 1:17 to go.
No flag on the play.
Pick it up.
Result of the play. First down.
All right, Philippek comes onto the field as well. Any sense, any panic mode by the Sun to maybe change quarterbacks going in the second half? No?
I don't think so. I think it's just playoff football. Mistakes are happening, and your opposition is taking advantage of it. Whether you're wearing a red or brown jersey, we've seen it equally happen so far this game. I don't think there's any need for either team to panic. It's who makes the best adjustments at halftime.
They fake it to Noah. The pass is complete. Krumlock will make the reception and gets it almost to a first down, depending on the spot.
Yeah, and he got a good probably almost 3.5 yards after contact on that as well.
He's got to get to that white line for a first down. I don't think he got there. No, he did not. So it's 2nd and inches. The Sun huddle up. Noah going to stay in the backfield. Burden, the only receiver on the right side. He's got 4 on the left side. Philippek going to go down the field, has Burden. He makes the reception and gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
What a great, I'm not sure if it was an out and up or a hook and up, but a quick little kind of shoulder fake to that weak side on that single isolation on that weak side, and then just air it, put enough ball underneath it for your receiver to go run it down. There is a flag on the field. I think it's going to be picked up or declined, sorry. But yeah, that's just
back.
Beautiful.
6.
Yeah.
Decline. Result of the play. Touchdown.
And that was Teeter that got beat on the play. Also picked up the penalty.
Yeah, I think
so
he was
double
probably
whammy.
clutching as he goes by, realized, oh no, I'm beat. And quite honestly, if I'm a DC, I would tell him, tackle him next time. I'd rather give up 15 than 6 points, right? Because at least in the Canadian game, it's not spot of the foul. It's 15 yards, right? So tackle that receiver, get him on the ground, give him the 15s, not the points.
The extra point is up and good, and the Sun retake the lead, 22-19 with
Just
47
like that.
seconds.
I like that play call. I really like how they got that defender to bite on that and then just throw it downtown. Yeah, I really like that decision by the Okanagan Sun.
We've seen a couple times Huskers jump the route, and they've been fortunate they guessed right. so far. Well,
Well, previously we saw it where it was just either a balance or a flood formation, where on this, as you said, the lone receiver on that weak side, you had quads to the other side. And you've got to respect that. Your other halfback, your weak side halfback comes across, your safety has to respect that, and your strong side linebacker. So you're really committing a lot of manpower to defending those 4 receivers, knowing you're going to get that isolation on the backside, which means no support deep if you get beat.
And he got beat
And
bad.
that's exactly what you didn't want to happen.
Yeah. And the defensive back, Teether, is being talked to on the sideline as well, and he's trying to explain to himself. And I like what the coach did, took his arm around him because they're still young kids.
Well, even Teether's probably thinking, yeah, I know, Coach. Damn, I
Yeah.
just had a brain fart out there on the field. I got flat-footed, and I thought I was timing it nicely, and yep.
So they kick off. Will be sent in the direction of Johnson. He'll get it at his own 15-yard line in that sunshine. Johnson to the 20 and cutting right through to make an outstanding tackle was the cover man, Mike Doolin.
And Doolin did a good job because he took on his block as well, got off the block, and then still stayed in his lane and made that tackle. Great coverage by the young man.
42 seconds to go for the Huskers. The offense will come back out on the field. Still like what the Huskers have done this first half. Stay in this game. They had the lead. We're able to move the football down the field with those quick passes. We'll see what they can do here with 42 seconds left if they elect to do anything. Duvall in a shotgun with Harb beside him. Duvall, there's a pass. Koniak has the reception at the 30 and he'll be tackled at the 31-yard line. Fensky with the tackle.
Yeah, Koniak thought he was going to get some separation, not realizing that Fensky was right for that shoestring tackle. He was hoping to get to that first down marker as he cut inside, but good shoestring tackle by Fensky.
Pickup of 9, they call it, so 2nd and 1. Duvall will give it to Harb. Harb goes up the middle, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Bond put a big lick on him. We'll see if they give him forward momentum for the first down or not. But that is a big hit.
Yeah,
Boom.
Again, just great. He knows how to control his body when he's coming in, so he's linebacker position coming in from that 4 or 5 yard depth, reading that it was run, step into that hole, deliver that hit. They are making the move the chains, though.
Duvall, 1st and 10. Thought about going down the field. It's a sack, but a flag flies just as the sack was made.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get the Sun will get lucky. It's going to be holding. It will be holding. Yeah, I thought so because it didn't look like anything was too rough coming in there on Duvall.
It was Hickenbottom that got there. Statham was around there as well.
67 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play.
Insult to injury. So you allow your quarterback to get smacked by 3 guys, but you're also holding to try and save him from that happening.
Again, like on the previous play, just tackle him instead of just holding on. Bring him down, save yourself.
Well, especially in that situation, too, you don't want your quarterback taking any more licks than necessary, right? So,
clock is ticking with Duvall in a shotgun. I would imagine they'll just let it tick all the way down to zeros instead of causing any more mistakes. Duvall will hand the ball to Harb. Harb is hit, Hickenbottom with the tackle, and that will be it for the first half here from the Apple Bowl. The Okanagan Sun and the Valley Huskers, I still think a very solid first half by this Husker team as the visitors, and the Sun have to bounce back, and they started to a little bit get the momentum back, and we'll see if they can carry that into the second half with the Sun leading 22-19.
Yeah, as we were saying throughout the first half, mistakes by both teams, capitalized by both teams. It's kind of a yo-yo match right now between these two teams, but on paper, understanding that if someone's going to make a correction with the horses they have and the history of what the season's done so far, you would tip your hat to the Sun, but this is playoff football. Anything can happen. We've already seen a trick play be very effective for the Huskers. Are they going to start discussing that at halftime and saying, okay, we're going to come out, let's see how the first drive happens for each team, and then if it's in our favor, we can keep these plays in our back pocket, or do we have to pull out what's our second option to try and catch the Okanagan Sun off guard?
But I like what they've done defensively as well. They've been able to hold Noah down. We don't have the stats, but we haven't really called Noah's name all that much. He has 2 touchdowns in the game.
Yeah.
But nothing really of note.
Exactly. He's not churning off 8 yards a carry, and he doesn't have, 2 receptions for 40 or 50 yards. So the Huskers are doing what they need. But to your point of what the Huskers are doing defensively, I'm liking that not only are they slamming the door shut on Noah and Petal, even when Petal was in there, he hasn't done much. It's not creating a gaping hole that the Sun have taken advantage, and they're throwing the ball 15, 20 yards downfield, bang, 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 touchdown, bang, 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 touchdown, right? So I'm liking that the Huskers are doing enough to crowd that line of scrimmage, but not catching themselves off guard once the Sun realize that, okay, you're going to take that away, we have to go to the air, and then, you're not shooting yourself in the foot by taking away one, and then they put up a bunch of points. So, kudos to the Huskers, 100% what they've done on both sides of the ball this first half.
Well, you and I have been part of this Okanagan Sun organization for quite a while, but no one is second to Ray Wheatley.
This is true. Anyone who's familiar with the Sun knows who Wheats is. Yes.
Yeah. And I had a chance to talk to him before the game here this afternoon, and I first asked him, well, how long have you been involved with the Sun?
About 35 years. Long enough to know better.
And in a lot of different roles. We've seen you on the field, right?
Yeah. Been a coach, been team manager, do help with equipment, help with training staff. It just whatever needed to be done, you do. And it's become more specialized with some people. All they know how to do is one thing. It's where I can do whatever you need me to.
So when somebody hears 35 years with one organization, one team, one workplace, they often ask, why? Why that long? Why are you still here?
Well, for me, the big thing is giving back to the kids to help them maybe become better people as they grow, and show them that you don't have to be a outside of the box type of person. You can be within that box and still perform and still make your life better.
And football's been in your blood too, right? Where did you get your start? You went to University of Oregon, didn't you?
I went to University of Oregon. I played high school in Edmonton. Then I played with the Edmonton Huskies for 3 years. And then when I was at Eskimo camp as a underage junior, the head coach for the Oregon Ducks spotted me and took him 2 years, but he did convince me to go, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. So what was that experience like? I mean, a few years ago now, but it must have been a great experience.
I would say the experience isn't as different than as what it is now. It's you get that exposure. You get to play with great athletes. Like when I was there was another Canadian on our team. Ruben Mays was in Washington State. There's a receiver in Arizona, and Mandrich was in Michigan State at that time. And that's the only Canadians I knew of at that time, other than maybe some on the East Coast in lower division football. But now you look at the Division I rosters, and there's Canadian kids all over the place because they've recognized that the talent is here. And, even some of the kids that we've had, they could have gone, but they didn't have the grades, so they could.
The talent over the years has obviously changed. The game has changed. The personnel has changed. Can you find even any similarities? I was going to ask you what the differences are or the challenges are, but the similarities, are there similarities?
Well, the talent level is still there. The differences are right now is that, some people, they come from a program where they were the star for so many years, and they come here and they're not that star. And then they go, well, why am I not playing? Well, it's not all about me. It's all about the team. Now, some of these kids that were stars in other school places that play different positions get changed, and all of a sudden the light goes on, and they realize there's more to this than me. And it becomes we. As you see, this year we're 10-0. 2 years ago we were 14-0 with a national championship. But if you go back through the years, that talent has always been there. Just the work ethics were different.
So is that tough to coach when you do coach some of these younger kids who have that attitude that they should be playing, but they aren't because the talent level is there, or there's a person in front of them that is equally as talented or more talented? Do you have to coach a lot of that the mental aspect of the game?
Well, the mental aspect's always part of the game. Yeah. Even if it's a starter, there's still mental aspect is still there. You've got to get them to understand and what they got to do to improve. Yeah. Once they understand that, it's amazing how they grow.
Now, you played offensive line at Oregon State, or Oregon, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you coach the offensive line here?
In the time I've been here, I've coached D-line, O-line, running backs, helped with linebackers. And, I could probably coach DBs and quarterbacks if I had to, and receivers.
35 years in, I would say so.
Well, it's just the basic knowledge, understanding the skills that are required. That's like when you're creating a system, offensive or defensive, you got to know what your athletes' capabilities are so that you get the best out of them every day.
So is it football you love or coaching the players?
Combination of both. Yeah. Football gave a lot to me, and as I said, I'm just trying to help kids become better citizens as they move forward, and make them or help them realize that it's not all about me.
Yeah. So in the 35 years, I'm going to put you on the spot. You've dealt with a lot of players, a lot of personalities. Is there a couple in there that really stick out in your mind as good kids that went on to be good citizens?
Mikel Vecchio, Terrence Houston, Zach Silverman, Adam Eckert. Do you want me to keep going?
So
there's a lot of them. The Sheeman brothers, Chad Folk, Ryan Folk. The list just goes on. Like in that time frame, you got to figure there's over 2,800 kids I've touched. Another one that is on our staff is Greg Barnard. Mm-hmm. I coached him, and now he's a police officer here in town. But just about everybody on our staff I have coached at one time or another.
I don't want to say it, but it makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Well, especially now that we're coaching some of their kids, there's 2 or 3 of them this year that their fathers played here when I was here, coaching when I was first starting. So, you think about it, I'm getting older, but you know what? If the heart and the soul is still there to keep doing it, and part of that is these kids make you feel young.
Yeah. I was going to say, the drive still must be there. The blood must get pumping every time there's a game day.
Not as much as it used to. Like right now, I'm kind of in the works of stepping back away from everything, trying to decide what I want to do moving forward.
Yeah. And do we have any idea with the football team?
I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see what this year brings.
So when you do step away, which coach out there right now is going to continue tradition of wearing shorts for every single game, regardless?
Hard to say. Doesn't matter what the weather is. Minus 25 in Regina 2 years ago, I was still wearing my shorts.
I saw you there. It was ridiculous. But you pulled it off. And is it now a thing that you have to do? You can't wear pants now.
I very rarely wear pants, period. The only time these kids see me in pants is when we have a banquet. And they go, why you got pants on? And I says, well, because it's a formal thing, you got to wear pants then. I've never wore pants a lot. Even when I had office jobs, I always got it cleared so I could wear my shorts. If it snowed over a foot of snow, I had to wear pants. That was the rule.
Yeah. Okay, last question. You won a national championship 2 years ago with this team. This team is 10-0 going to the playoffs here. Does this team have the same capabilities as a national championship team 2 years ago?
Well, even if you compare it to the team from 2000, because I've got that one as well. Yeah. The differences is what these players are willing to do to get to that point. In 22, we had a bunch of kids that were bought in. Some of them were fifth-year guys, some of them were sixth-year guys, and they just had that drive and desire. In 2000, the team had the drive and desire. These guys have the drive, we've got to see what the desire is, and that'll be determined starting today.
In the class. Ray, thanks for doing this. Thanks for your longevity, not your insanity, your longevity here with the Okanagan Sun.
Either or, it doesn't matter. I'm still here.
That is Ray Wheatley, 35 years with this Okanagan Sun football team, and he's been on the sideline for almost all of those 35 years. And you had him on your coaching staff as well. I mean,
he's invaluable. What he's always done, like you said, in multiple roles, but he's never been one to shy away from if you asked him to do something to help out the team. He was always first place to step up and say, yep, I can take on that. I can wear that hat. I'll make sure this is done. I'll make sure this helps the team and moves us forward. The consummate guy you want as a volunteer for an amateur football. If every team had a Ray Wheatley, I think it would benefit junior football.
He's got 2 national championships, 2000 and 2022, and we joked about, I don't know if you heard the part where we're joking about his shorts, and it was
always
so cold in Regina 2 years ago, but Wheats is out there wearing his shorts.
Well, he's also a former old lineman too,
Well,
right? So those
yeah.
guys are hard, man. They'll never tell you that they're cold. These are guys that, play in the prairies with bare arms and no undershirt or nothing because they're old linemen. We're not soft. We don't feel the weather, right? So that's the mentality Wheatley has.
It is too cold. But yeah, what an individual, and what a great guy too. 35 years with his football team. So I also had a chance to catch up with an assistant coach for the Valley Huskers. His name is Gary Lemecca, and he actually played with the Valley Huskers. And I said, how long did you? Well, he played for 5 years.
Yep, I came in as a rookie in 2012, and I just never left.
Was football always in your blood?
Originally, it was basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved basketball. I wanted to be like Michael Jordan and Vince Carter and those guys. And 1 year, I didn't make a team, and I thought my career was over. And I got lucky that the basketball coach helped with the football team, and just been playing since.
So did he recruit you then? Like, hey, since you got cut, come over here.
Football season was before basketball season at that time, so he basically just said, hey, you look like a football guy. You want to try out? I'm like, sure. This is like when I was in grade 8, I believe, with the Gordie Howe Bulldogs in Abbotsford, so... Yeah.
Do you remember back then, did you have to say to any family member, hey, I want to play football, let me play football?
Oh, my mom was so mad. So what happened was they're like, they had a meeting and they're like, all right, all football players or anybody interested, stay after school. No phone at that time, so I couldn't text my mom to say, hey, I'm going to be late. So I got home with paperwork and football equipment. I said, I'm playing football, and she was not happy. More or less, I was just late home, but yeah.
So how'd you sell it on her?
Hey, Mom, you said you don't want to play basketball anymore, so here's football instead.
Coach decided I wasn't playing basketball anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, yeah, I didn't make the basketball team after that. So when I was going to high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I played football once before. Let me try again.
So then when did the Valley Huskers come into focus for you?
The Huskers came into focus senior season, my senior year at the Senior Bowl tryouts. So they did a joint thing between like Team BC and Senior Bowl. And I heard my buddy call me over, and I ended up talking to Tyson St. James. He was the coach. He was going to be the head coach at the time. That would have been his first year with us.
So what was the experience like on the field, playing junior football at a level that's a lot faster and harder hitting than high school?
Oh, it was definitely a game-changing experience. Like, it went from like super simple football to what I understood to like a lot more complicated systems. And now I'm not just some thug running into a gap. Like, I actually have to use my eyes. I actually have to start thinking a little more than what I'm just doing. So it was definitely a large change of pace that I had to rise up to.
It's been 5 years. Then now here you are back in junior football as a coach. What are you coaching?
I coach running backs mostly, yeah.
You're telling kids you can't just run through a hole, you got to use your eyes.
Pretty much. Like, it's fun. Like, when I think it's more interesting working with the new running backs than some of my older backs, because they come out of high school and they come from places where, let me just bounce outside and I'll just make things happen. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that anymore, man. So it's definitely a fun part, teaching them the learning curve. And when they get it, that's the part that just lights me up. It's like, oh, he sees it now. I'm so happy he sees it.
Everybody learns a different route, a different way. So how do you do that now? Have you needed to learn that as a coach to teach that player how to do that and then this player how to do that?
Yeah, definitely like adjusting my coaching style, because when I first learned it, I learned it from Coach Kai, our OC actually. He was my running back coach my final year, and sort of like understanding not just how to teach it, but who you're teaching it to. And so individual guys, it's like they are not all going to be the same, obviously. So you got to talk to them in a way where, how do you see it before? This is how you're going to see it now. Like it really makes things a lot more interesting, but it also, I feel like, elevates the coaching game as well.
Yeah. Do you ever think you would be here? Do you ever think you'd be Coach Lemecca?
Honestly, I didn't think I was going to be coaching with the Huskers. After my final year, I wanted to take a year off and just figure out who I was without football. And I went to the spring camp the following year, and they said, you want to come help out? And I was like, sure, I'll hang around, and just never left again, right? So.
Off the field, some exciting news. You got engaged?
I did, yeah. May long weekend this past May. That was a life-changing event for me, for sure.
Yeah. Were you nervous? Were you scared?
Oh, man, I was just racked nerves. The day of, like, I was, like, in my head going over what I was going to do. I had, like, music playing when we got to the house. And, oh, man, it was a great time. And when she said yes, I was just over the moon.
What's her name?
Her name's Nicole.
Okay. And did you have any indication that maybe she was wavering?
No, I think definitely. I think for the most part, like when we first started dating back in October, like we just sort of were talking a bunch about where we were at in life, what we both wanted, like not to waste each other's times. We were both coming out of heartbreak situations, so I think we really filled each other's gaps to, build sort of like not the perfect relationship, but a very strong one.
You have 2 dogs. Are they football names?
No, they were herd dogs. I just moved in. They're Disney names. One's Gus Gus, the other's Coco.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for sharing your story.
Anytime. Thanks for having me on.
That is Gary Lemecca, assistant coach for the Valley Huskers. Played here for 5 years with Valley, and now he's a coach, and it sounds like he is loving his new role with this Husker organization. It's good to catch up with him. Just before this second half begins, both teams, as you can see, are on the field. The Okanagan Sun lead the Valley Huskers, the number 1 seed, taking on the number 4 seed, and they lead it by the score of 22-19. Some first half stats to pass along, some curious stats, especially rushing the football. Elion Noah, we made such a big deal out of him. 53 yards on the ground for the Sun. He has 45 of them, and the Huskers have 45 as well. Receptions, the Sun have 147 yards through the air. The Huskers 175. We saw a lot of those quick hits during the first half. We'll see if they come out with that as well, as they will get the football to open up this second half of this semifinal. As Grady Hay will tee it up, and we are underway. Second half, Sun and Huskers. Johnson will get the ball at his own 10, and he'll bring it back up the field. Johnson to the 20, and not much further after that as Johnson has hit good coverage by the Sun. But the Huskers will start with the football here in the second half.
Yeah, some good airtime on this kick. Johnson fields it well. He's fielded most of them this afternoon, but just good coverage by the Sun. They're so disciplined in their lanes. You're not usually going to catch them napping as you try and attack them straight up north-south, and that's what Johnson tried to do. And reset Okanagan Sun on their coverage and see what they can do on this defensive first set of downs.
Marcus Burden with the tackle. Burden also had a touchdown in that opening half, 46-yard touchdown with 47 seconds remaining in the second quarter, and to put the score where it is, 22-19. So Duvall will come out in a shotgun like we've seen him all afternoon, and he'll go back to pass. Duvall, quick strike looking for Lake, but it falls to his feet, incomplete, and it'll be second down.
Again as well, and as I keep looking at Duvall delivering the football to T's, I'm seeing it's mostly off his back foot as well. He's not stepping enough. There he came through a little bit more, but again, it's like he's leaning forward even while he's stepping on his front foot. He's not really, I don't know if he's afraid of some of the contact that's coming, but the delivery's not normal, what we've seen out of Duvall.
Down the field here, this one is intercepted. Picked off by Barhot. Barhot has it to the 40, and he'll be tackled from behind. Tackled by Konalik, but an interception by Armand.
Yeah, and again, that's where he was going. He was going for Koniak downfield on that kind of inside seam route. Just didn't see that Barhot was sniffing around there in that deep coverage. He thought it was probably man coverage one-on-one with no deep help, but there was that deep help over top, and he was able to break off and secure that ball before it could drop into Koniak.
Third interception by this Sun defense here in this semifinal. So Philippek and company come out for the first time in this second half, and they do hand the ball to Peddle, and he goes absolutely nowhere. Good push by the Husker defensive line.
Yeah, again, like another option too might be okay. Now this is just actually, a great O-line actually getting beaten up at the point of attack there. There's no way that penetration should happen that quick on a run play like that. Okanagan Sun O-linemen are better than that, so that was kind of a hiccup there from what they normally do in their blocking scheme.
A loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Philippek to the air, has his man Burden. He has the reception, but forced out of bounds before he hits the 30-yard line, well short of the first down.
Yeah, as well as when the run game for the Sun obviously don't go away from it, but I'd like to see them start with whether it's Peddle or Noah in the backfield, then motion to empty and make the Huskers decide, are you going to blitz and play cover 0, or are you going to play zone, or are you going to play man? When we're empty, we're going to have 5-6 receivers pushing you downfield. Let's see what you can do, because if you do, if you have good coverage, then our quarterback could also run the ball well, and if he scrambles right, he might be able to deliver something on the run.
40-yard field goal attempt after a lot of confusion down there. Liam Atwood, his kick is up, and it is no good. Went wide right with it. Huskers will bring it out, but it doesn't matter. The field goal has been missed, and the score remains 22-19.
Yeah, good bend don't break by the Huskers. Especially when you're the Okanagan Sun head coach Miller and the special teams coordinators and the kicking team, that should have been 3 points, knowing that it's Atwood and he can normally kick those all day long. So, but good moral victory to start this third quarter by the Huskers, creating a situation where the Okanagan Sun come up empty-handed after that quick turnover.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, 22-19. We should mention last time we saw the score from the other semifinal was West Shore in front of Langley by the score of 17-14, that game being played in Langley. So 1st and 10, they give it to Harp. Harp will go up the middle, and he's met after a short gain. Picked up maybe 2, Bond on the stop.
Yeah, again, just a good initial big on big. But the difference we see, the Okanagan Sun run this kind of scheme as well, where you've got the slotbacks coming inside. And that was Koniak, I think. The Okanagan Sun slotbacks time it, they hit that line of scrimmage like a bat out of hell. Koniak kind of puts on the brakes there, and as an undersized receiver, you need that momentum to try and light up a D lineman or a linebacker. I think that's the difference of how effective that is.
The ball going to roll to his right side, looking down the field. This one is going to be tossed out of bounds. He had a receiver a little bit near or closer to him.
Yeah, I think if he goes Koniak sooner, I think that he might have an opportunity where he can collect it and then go up the sidelines to get that first down instead of trying to go deeper. Yep.
Intended for Mora, 2 guys on him. Ball was thrown out of bounds, incomplete, and a quick 2-and-out by the Huskers. Back to receive this punt will be Gage Parker. As the Husker puncher, Yapin will stand inside his own 10-yard line, roughly around his 7. Gets the kickoff, end over end, not very high, but it took a nice Husker bounce, picked up by Page at his own 52-yard line, and doesn't get a lot of yards. Got to Husker territory, about the 50-yard line, and that's where the Sun offense will take over.
Yeah, so for the second series, the Okanagan Sun have great offensive starting position. Let's see if they can do a little better, obviously, on this second series. At worst case scenario, put up 3 or start turning the tides against the Huskers. If the Huskers are going to start losing the field battle and the time of possession, the Sun will start putting up 3, putting up 7, putting up a rouge. It could get out of hand quite quickly for the Huskers in this third quarter.
1st and 10 from the Husker 50-yard line. Noah back in the game. He wasn't in that first set. In the second half, Philippek fakes to him down the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Maston if they allow it.
I think he caught it, 2 T's.
He did. His second pick of the afternoon.
And I think it was just overthrown on Burden, and I think Burden wasn't sure if it was going to go to a deeper coverage there. I don't know if he thought he had a teammate behind him and he didn't try to go after that ball that was a little overthrown, but what a beauty pick by Maston, that all-star.
Second interception.
We've seen him involved in some key plays this afternoon.
Yep. 2 of them interceptions for sure. By the way, a latest score from Langley. The Rams now in front of the Rebels, 21-17. And Duval will go back in a shotgun. 3 receivers to his right. Duval is looking for a receiver. He has it. That is Lake. He makes the reception and then gets to the 40-yard line on the completion.
Yeah, again, this is just trying to get something going. You're securing that. He's getting pressure, so he's got to put a lot of air into that ball, which is better than the difference we've seen most of this half where the ball's going in the turf and stuff. So at least with that air he's putting underneath it, it's not into a risky situation where it can get picked or tipped. But for how much airtime that ball had, being 2nd and 7, you'd like to be 2nd and short.
No, 2nd and 7 as Duval will now run for it. Duval has the first down, and it'll be pushed out of bounds right in front of the cameraman. Bond will make sure he steps out of bounds.
Yeah, good decision by Duval, seeing that we've got coverage. He can break containment. He knows that he can outrun those D linemen on the containment, get to understand his receivers are downfield. Say, perfect, okay, he's going to have man coverage. Some of these defenders are going to turn their backs to me. I'll take advantage of that, and I'll move the chains myself, which we haven't seen him make that decision most of this game, and he is a quality running quarterback. He should do more of that, I think, in the second half.
Kudos to the quick feet of the cameraman, too, getting out of the way. Duvall will just lay it up, almost intercepted, looking for his intended receiver. That was Rodriguez, who was coming across the field, but couldn't quite find him.
No, and just a little too much pressure from Statham and Yobo coming off that edge. As he was trying to roll out, he kind of stood up more. I think if he would have pressed it more and continued to roll it, he and Rodriguez, I think, would have gotten separation from coverage and that pursuit from the defenders, and he would have been able to connect with them on that.
So 2nd and 10 from their own 52-yard line. 3 receivers to his left. Johnson coming across. He's going to hit Johnson there. Johnson takes a big hit on that crossing pattern. Statham with the hit.
Yeah, I think he was looking as he was kind of dancing to collect that ball and collect himself to move up. He doesn't realize Statham's there and gets him blindsided. And good job on Johnson holding on to the ball. He's a big, lanky receiver, so he's able to tuck that ball away, but Statham was just waiting there, licking his lips to lower the boom on that play.
3rd and 5. Huskers are going to go for it. 3 receivers on the right side. 2 to the left. Big moment here. Duvall back to pass. Duvall over the middle has his receiver. It is Johnson again in front of the defensive back. Lewis gets the reception and the first down. They move the chains.
Great delivery. This is a tight window. Duvall steps up. Tight window in between the linebacker and that coverage over the top with Lewis. And yeah, good job on Johnson knowing that he's got some brown jerseys around him. He was going to get smacked and just wanted to secure that ball and make sure he moves the chains, knowing it was a 3rd down opportunity for his teammates.
Another nice play by Johnson, too. 9:30 to go in this 3rd quarter. Duvall will hand it here to Harb. Harb will try the left side, has a little bit of daylight, then closed quickly. Good pursuit by Lewis to come up and make the hit.
Yeah, aside from the odd play where a team, their running game has either gotten out in a pass situation or maybe 1 or 2 big runs, we haven't seen a lot of daylight happening for Harb, Noah, or Petal on either side of the sidelines here.
So 2nd and 8, they give him 2 on the pickup. And Duvall calling the shot at the line of scrimmage. Duvall going to roll to his right side. His throw ends up short again. There's that pass that ends up in the receiver's feet.
That's got to be 5 to 7 receptions that should have been converted by the Huskers offense. That would have probably given them a lot more opportunities to have 2nd and shorts or converting 2nd down to 3rd downs. I think Duvall, when he sees this game on film, he's going to be kicking himself in his own rear end, knowing that his delivery was undermining how he could have thrown, I think, some of his receivers open.
So it's 3rd down. They converted a 3rd and 5. Doesn't look like they are going to attempt fate a second time. Instead, the kicker,
48
has
48-yarder.
48, going to attempt a 48-yarder. Rodriguez, the holder, from the
Why?
left hash.
And they've got a linebacker. Why is he onside? Do they have too many men, or is he not knowing that he should be? No, he's keeping him.
Somebody's going to call timeout.
Okay, so the Sun are going to call a timeout just in case they were setting up some kind of fake, because that's the all-star linebacker Benal back there. But
what's
I mean, that's just it. I can understand if it's like Rodriguez or Cognac or like one of your, or Mora, one of your top receivers back there playing decoy or tempting the Sun to have to commit to something if you're going to run a fake. But linebacker, it's not like he's got 8 interceptions as a linebacker. He's sure-handed. It seems odd. So I don't know if he was just out of place and it forced the Sun to waste a timeout. Yeah.
With 8:32 to go in this 3rd quarter, and now the kicker, Yapin, is going to set up as a punter rather than a field goal.
And maybe that was Coach Reese's plan the whole time, just to get a timeout out of the back pocket of Coach Miller.
It worked like
sneaky underdogs that they are. Yep.
Worked like a charm. And Page will go back to receive this kick, as Yapin, the kicker, standing right at midfield. And now he's going to come a little closer. Yapin chatting with one of his defensive partners. It's interesting. It's back to receive this snap. and kicks it away. After all of that, it's a punt.
Ooh, nice spot, too.
Punt, too, right in that corner. We'll see what the official says. And he's going to stop it around the 2-yard line. Terrific kick by Yapin.
No opportunities for a return. No funky bounce to go back into the middle of the field so you can set something up.
So now, if you're the Huskers, you want to hold to flip the field.
Yeah,
and force
you've won the field thus far. You snaked the timeout out of the back pocket of the Okanagan Sun midway through this third quarter. So let's see what they can do on defense here.
Sun will set up in the shadow of their own goalpost at their own 2-yard line. They'll huddle up in the end zone. And we'll see if they send out Noah. Yeah, Noah is out there. Only 45 yards in the opening half for Noah. New quarterback, that's Kroger, is the new quarterback. Kroger will have the quarterback draw and get all the way up almost to the 20-yard line.
And I like that, too. They keep the formation the same, but right away, Noah goes in as a fullback, turns into a blocking back. Great block by Noah as well to spring Kroger, and that's a great play call to get out of the shadows of your own goalpost.
So they do change the quarterback, at least in this series. 7:45 to go in this third quarter. Sun leading 22-19. Kroger led the Sun to their shutout victory in Chilliwack earlier this season, so he has experience against the Huskers. His throw is caught. Completion to Burden on the far side, and almost a first down.
Should be pretty darn close, yep. Well, that's just it, and the quality of your backup quarterback is a veteran. When you think about it, the Sun have been starting majority of their games. Philippek, who's a young rookie, 17-year-old quarterback, and then your backup is going to someone who's got experience. That's a nice problem to have. If you're doing it just as a game plan to see if you can catch the Huskers off guard, or if you're legitimately making a change throughout the whole second half, great option to have.
It was a nice first play too, right from that 2-yard line. So 1st and 10, Kroger is going to hand here to Noah. Noah is going to go up the middle. Noah gain maybe 5 yards on the play. That'll be 2nd and 5 after that first down reception by Burden.
Yeah, and just, again, between the tackles, big on big, we see that jet sweep formation, but he goes in on that formation coming across with a motion. He knifes in between the guard and the tackle on that weak side, becoming a fullback, and then Noah just comes in behind them and tries to bounce off him, looking for some daylight into that second level where the linebackers hide.
So they gave him, looks like 5 on the play, 2nd and 5. Kroger, fake to Noah. He's going to go down the field, down the middle, just overthrew Craver. It looks like his intended receiver.
Just out of reach. The right read, perfect spot, a little bit more of a touch on that. He was still able to outrun the free safety coming across for help. Yeah, just maybe a yard and a half too deep for Craver to get under it.
So 3rd down, and the Sun will punt. It's what the Huskers want. Obviously, they want the opposition to punt. They just maybe were hoping it was back on their own goal line.
Yes. Well, and this is still the better option, because that would have been likely, if not a touchdown, he maybe got chase bound inside their own 30, right? Yep. So it's a good condolence prize for the Huskers to make them punt from their own 32 or 33.
Andrea is back to receive the punt, but there's whistles that blow. And the Sun take another timeout. That's their 2nd.
So they're done with their timeouts already. Don't we get 2 in Canadian amateur football? I think it's only 2. I could have been. Well, that's just it. It's been so long. That part of my brain's like, I think we only get 2. I guess we'll find out.
Well, we do know that they've used 2. With 6:03 remaining in this third quarter.
We got fans screaming at the television right now, correcting us.
Correcting you, I might add.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you under with me, 2 T's. Yeah, you can kick me off the edge there. Throw me under there, yeah.
Hay is the punter. He's back at his own 15-yard line. Here's kick. Good high kick, angling it away from Andrea. Andrea will finally pick it up. Should be a no yards. The flag flies. He got it at the 40, pushed out of bounds about the 44. Tack on 5 more yards.
And quite honestly, They didn't look like they were trying to back out too much, right? When you're engaging the blocks like that and before he grabs it, they may throw a 15 at the Sun. I would not be surprised if they did that.
Referee's talking it over.
We'll see how generous the Zebras are tonight.
We got
just
no
5.
yards. Number 90 on the kick and D. That's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down, Valley.
So just a 5-yard penalty.
But as you were saying, Tutis, like this is a good win of the field position for the Huskers right now, being close to their own 50.
So 1st and 10, Duval will set up shop in a shotgun. Empty backfield for Tyron. Tyron's going to step up. He will take off, get to the line of scrimmage to the 50, now at the 51. And a flag at the end comes in.
By the head ref. I wonder what he saw.
Well, Duval's slow to get up.
I didn't think I saw any shenanigans unless there was some piling on towards the end. Oh, yeah, so he's calling. Whose jersey number is that? Is that Remillard? He might be calling Remillard coming in for that late. Won't say late. Duval was on his way to the ground, but the way, you get a big D lineman.
We got unnecessary roughness. Number 33 piling on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down, Valley.
First down, Valley, but more importantly, the health of Duval.
Yeah. I think the way he took that hit as he was going down and Remillard piled on, I'm wondering if he's just winded because it did kind of get him on that back right side of him. So whether he got a little winded on that, I don't think that there was too much weight coming down on his shoulders or anything like that. But I think it might just be the way. So Remillard, who's got a lot of that pink on, the way he comes in on like that, I wonder if he just kind of clipped Duval on the side and possibly winded him right there as he piled. Oh, he kind of got him from the front too. Maybe he got a little bit of a bell ring, which is unfortunate for the Huskers and obviously Duval, but you don't want to see that garbage yards given if you're Coach Beattie with his defense right now. That's a stupid mistake by Remillard, who knows better. He's an all-star in the conference. He certainly does know better, but
here's a play right there.
Yeah.
He's still lying on his back is Duval. Now the Okanagan Sun trainer is out there as well. And we have a coach, looks like, on his headset, checking on the health of their quarterback. The Sun trainer doesn't seem to be leaving the pile with any sense of urgency. Well, hopefully he's okay.
I mean, he did reach and he grabbed his own shoulder pads. He could just be sitting there. I'm wondering if he just got a little bit of a bell ring and his eyes got a little, cross-eyed on him or something like that when you do take a big hit like that. Because he took a hit high as he was going, trying to get first down. So initial hit, he did take contact up into the shoulders and head area right there. And then as he spins off, and then that's when Remillard gets him. Because even you can see the Sun guy, that first contact coming off. But he's certainly alert. He's talking to his trainers and whatnot. So, we don't want to speculate anything on how he's feeling. But, yeah, that first little, you can kind of see when Remillard hits him. And he's sitting up.
Coaches are obviously concerned about he is up. And he's walking off the field under his own power, as you can see in the middle of your screen, number 10. Remillard's going to come over there, too, and make sure he's okay. And Borhat.
Good job by Remillard doing that. Understanding that, hey, it's the heat of the battle, it's the game. I wasn't trying to be dirty. You weren't quite down. I was jumping in. Wasn't unnecessary, yes. No disrespect, and hopefully you get back out there so we can keep finishing this game, battling it out.
The backup quarterback is Noah McCreel. So McCreel will come out. He's number 16 in white as he's making his way to the huddle now. We don't know a lot about him. I don't have a lot of stats on him because Duval's been the guy.
Thrown to the Wolves in third
third
quarter of a semifinal on the road.
Down by a couple. It's 1st and 10. 5:38 to go in this third quarter. And McCreel is up under center, or at least in the shotgun as the quarterback now. McCreel, he's going to go to pass. McCreel's pass is complete as the flag flies, as Koniak will make the reception. It's a short reception, maybe 3 yards, but we'll see what the call is from the official.
They did let the play go, so I'm wondering if it's going to again be defensive offside, or are they calling one of the slot backs off on that? Yeah, it looks like it's against the Huskers.
So McCreel's first completion of the playoffs is negated. Just waiting for the officials' word.
Number 13 on the offense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
It's Koniak, who made the receptions, whistled for the infraction.
Yeah, so what Coach Miller was looking for a spot on where that reception was, because he was asking, because if you accept the penalty, it'll be 1st and 15. Instead, he's going for a 2nd and 8. That's why Coach Miller was asking, where was the spot of the reception before I make my decision if I accept or decline that penalty.
So 2nd and 7, they call it up on the scoreboard. Creel is in a shotgun. He's going to roll through his left side. Flag flies on the far side. This pass is almost intercepted, knocked down by Lewis.
And this is the same thing too, T. So you got offside receivers. This will be offensive offside yet again.
Creel takes a shot too there.
Yeah,
Boy, took a big shot. Yeah. That was Bond that came through. Good.
Not the best of hits you want to take as a backup quarterback. That's Koniak back-to-back offsides.
Wow.
You know the count. You know when the ball's getting snapped. What are you doing, Koniak? Come on. You know better than that.
Coaches would tell him, just stand there.
Yeah.
Don't move.
Don't move.
Next time, don't move.
Yeah.
So the
Half
drive
a second.
stalls. Yeah. Yapin will come out to kick. I'm trying to see if I can spot Duval. Is he under that medical
He
tent?
is under the tent there, 2 T's, yep.
Sitting is equipment's still on. That's good news. As Yapin will kick this one away, almost got blocked. Parker has it at his own 10. Parker puts up a block, but there's a foul, or a flag. Gets to the 30, but this one's coming back. On the far sideline, he's dragged out of bounds. But an illegal
So
block.
they're going to call that Pelias there. They're going to call him blocking in the back. I thought he had enough.
There.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to argue that I was in front of that upfield shoulder. Refs will disagree.
Boom.
Oh, no, that's a perfect angle. Great job of the team here with the cameras. That is a penalty. That's a perfect angle. And again, that's the big guy. Remy are getting
Illegal
downfield.
block in the back. Okanagan number 31. That'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Valley.
That's 2 compliments to the Zebras today.
Wow.
2 T's.
I don't know what's going on. I'm stunned right now.
Are we going through a comet tail or something? What's going on in the air here? I don't know.
Well, I did want to bring up the fact that the sun, or the field is now in shade.
Yeah.
Because the sun has gone behind the mountain, behind the stadium here. So is that, we talked about it earlier, and we haven't seen a lot of dew slipping.
Not yet, because it doesn't feel as cold, but the temperature will start dropping for sure in this Apple Bowl.
It's cold up here. I think it's cold. So 1st and 10 from their own 6. They fake it to Noah. Kroger's pass is caught by Krumlach. He has the reception, gets to the 15 and the 17, and is tackled there.
And I like that. This is play action, and you're getting Shamala coming across in formation, then he leaks out into the flats, right? So not really the flats. It's still behind the line of scrimmage, but you do your regular formations, trying to bait the front 7 into knowing that it's run, create that separation where that backside linebacker or halfback delays picking up Shomalak, and that's how he's able to get that catch and run.
Nice catch by a former quarterback, too.
Yeah, it was kind of, he's running away from the ball and had to reach down to catch it. Yeah,
totally. Well, 1st and 10 as they move the chain. The chain gang were a little late moving. And now they'll blow in the play. Kroger going to remain in the game. They've got Noah in the backfield as well. Falconer goes in motion. They fake it to Noah. Play action. Craver with the reception. He's hit immediately, but it's a first down, a gain of 11, maybe 12.
Yeah, and again, a nice delivery. We've seen all afternoon the quarterbacks are getting the time to deliver the ball. He just does enough. He recognizes that it's zone coverage. He knows that right away, as soon as I see my receiver looking at him, I'm going to dump it to him, let him turn and get those extra yards to move the chains.
Ball placed at the 30-yard line. A receiver coming in late for the Sun. Bringing in the play, that would be Griffin Lee. Huskers are ready to go. 24-21 now, is that what that says?
Yeah, we don't know what the time left in that game is. But
that's the Rebels leading the Rams right now. They fake it to Noah again. Kruger's just going to take off. Sidesteps the tackler, 35 now to the 37. A flag flies way in the backfield at the end of the play.
That would tell me holding.
It is against the Sun.
But I like this decision by Kroger. So play action pass, and he was going to throw to that kind of wide receiver screen flats to the wide side. Recognizes that the Huskers sniffed it out. He just tucked the ball and ran.
Holding, number 69 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
So there's the penalty call. 3:13 remaining in this third quarter. I'm stunned by that score in Langley. The Rebels have had so many injuries.
Back and
guys
forth.
banged
Yes.
up, and
So I wonder if it's mistake-laden like we're seeing this game and they're able to capitalize on something, or they just caught the Rams napping. I'd like to see the score sheet of that game.
1st and 20 for Kroger and company from the 20-yard line. He's in a shotgun, Noah beside him. Some motion there by the Sun offense. Kroger back to pass. Looking left side, he's got his man. This Walker makes the reception at the 32, trying to make a move. Nobody moved. He caught the ball. They looked at each other. Okay, who's going to blink?
Yeah.
And finally, he's forced out of bounds.
We'll just wait for you.
Right here. Walker, okay. And then I'll go this way.
Good delivery, though. That was nice. 1st and long, getting into a 2nd and short.
Yeah, on a 1st and 20, now a 2nd and 4, way more manageable. And Noah's going to depart the game. And the Sun offense with Petal back in the backfield. Kroger in a shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to his right. Falconer goes in motion. They fake the jet sweep. It's Kroger with the carry. He looked like he had all sorts of room for the first down until a linebacker, George Kelly, came in.
Yeah.
And made the tackle.
I thought as he spun, that ball was crossing that field line of scrimmage, like right there, but based on the first down marker, no, okay, that's true. Yeah, it looked like he spun at the 40, and the first down marker's just past the 40, so that's that kind of half-yard discrepancy that he just came up short.
So it's 3rd down, and the Sun are going to go for it. 3rd and less than a yard. In the Canadian game, this should be automatic.
Should be.
What's surprising, though, Kroger's going to remain in a shotgun. Oh, they bring in a receiver, I think? Or
Yeah, he came in motion across.
It's Tromalock, the former quarterback.
Yeah.
So he knows what to do up under the center. Gets the snap and falls forward for a first down.
Yeah.
A nice-looking play. On a short yardage, he picked up quite a few.
Yep.
The ball
Well, that's it. He knifes in, and then he's able to kind of bounce and spin off. And because there's so many bodies crowded at that line of scrimmage, if you do break something on that first line of scrimmage, that first plane of attack, you are going to get quite a few yards after contact.
1st and 10 from their own 45. Noah in the backfield. They're going to give it to Noah this time. Noah will go up the middle, and he's picked up 4, maybe 5 as he keeps churning. As you talked about off the top of the broadcast, the initial guy has got to make the hit and bring him down, but it's awfully difficult to do.
Just hold on for dear life. Make sure you don't miss the tackle and allow your teammates to come and help you. But they have thus far done a great job of holding him well below his season average per rush. He's 7.4, I believe it was, on the season, and he's certainly nowhere near that this afternoon. So kudos to that front 7. And they've been running a 3-4 all afternoon, the Huskers. So they got 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. So even at that point of attack, having 5-on-3 an advantage to the Okanagan Sun O-line, the Huskers have still done a great job in those 4 linebackers flowing to those gaps to secure that run lane.
Injured Husker coming off the field is John Rabbit. He's being attended to on the sideline. Something with his left leg. 2nd and 5 from the 50-yard line. Kroger, he'll go back to pass. His man makes the reception and has the first down. Craver with the reception. A gain of, it looks 7. And it'll be a first down.
Yep, good job by Craver. You just get in, recognize that it's zone, sit down in between those 2 zone coverage, the linebacker Ofashuene and then that weak side or the strong side halfback, and again, give your quarterback that target to hit you. You're beyond the first down yardage, which is perfect. You don't want to be short. Get a yard or 2 pass, give that target. Even as you're getting tackled, you know you've already secured the first down.
1st and 10, now inside Husker territory. They fake to Petal. Kroger going to go down the field. It is incomplete. Looking for Craver again, but George Kelly came over and broke up the play.
Beauty coverage by that free safety coming over. That deep coverage help in the hip pocket. of Craver, and then just, times it perfectly, right over top, just knocked that ball down. Right decision, but I think there was more real estate for Kroger to lead him. If he would have thrown, instead of trying to deliver on a rocket right where he is, maybe 5 yards in front, if he puts a lot more air going wide, I think he's got more real estate to run his receiver open as opposed to trying to deliver it into tight coverage.
And that is the end of the third quarter. No scoring in the third quarter. 22-19, the score remains in favor of the Sun, who will start the final frame with the football. So that game in Langley must be getting awfully close to finishing.
Must be.
The Rams are the number 2 seed in the conference. The Rebels the 3rd seed, just squeaking in because this Valley Husker team lost after holding a nice lead in Nanaimo last week. Lost the game, propelling the Rebels into the 3rd spot. But 2 really tight games here in the BC Conference in the semifinals.
Which is what you want to see in playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on paper, if you 2.5 hours ago, you would have thought Langley should manhandle the Rebels and the Sun should manhandle the Huskers. No disrespect to the Rebels and Huskers, but let's be realistic of what this season has looked like. That is what you thought the 2 home teams would have done, and thus far, these 2 road teams are stepping up to playoff football.
And tomorrow, the Prairie Conference championship, or not championship, the semifinals are tomorrow as well. Saskatoon is hosting the Edmonton Huskies. That's a 1-4 matchup. And then the Calgary Colts are in Regina to take on the Thunder. The Thunder, the 2nd seed, the Colts, the 3rd seed. Those 2 teams met last week. And whoever won that game was going to get home field advantage. The Thunder wins. And now it's both semifinals in the province of Saskatchewan. A bit of a delay here as Kroger's on the sideline. Something wrong with his hand. He went to the trainer's tent. Here he comes out. That's him there. Maybe he's
I think it's, so the refs had to give him opportunity to cover blood. You're not allowed to have an open wound, so to speak, on the field if the refs recognize it.
Well, that's why a bit of a delay here to open up this 4th quarter. It's 2nd and 10 for the Sun offense. Kroger in a shotgun. Kroger looking downfield, has the time, now breaks down. Now he's going to try to take off, bounces up a couple of would-be tacklers, still on his feet, still fighting for yards. Eventually will get tackled. After all that, he picked up 2.
Running about 15 yards east-west to get 2 north-south.
I mean, good idea. No, he put his hand down. He's down.
No, your hand's fine. It's when you get forearm and anything else. So this is all right. The second you're like this or your shoulder or knee, you're down. But your hand, absolutely, you can keep doing that. Yeah.
All right. So 3rd down, the Sun will punt. Andrea will go back to receive the punt around his own 15-yard line. Again, the Sun still lead 22-19 here in the 4th quarter. Hay gets the snap. Whistles are blowing just before he actually kicked the football.
I didn't see a flag, so does that delay a game?
Here comes the official to tell us.
We got procedure.
Oh.
Number 7 on Okanagan. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Let's pedal. We'll push back 5 more yards, which helps the Huskers ultimately, unless Hay can get off a nice big punt here. Three touchdowns for the Sun here this afternoon. Noah has 2 of them, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air, and Burden has a touchdown as well. Here's the kick.
Beauty.
Good spiral kick, chasing Andrea back to his own 12. He slips and falls. There's our first Husker that have slipped and fell in this one.
Yeah, again, like a center fielder catching over your shoulder there, and then as you try and collect yourself and turn your momentum upfield, that's when you blow a gasket and your cleats just can't hold on to that cooling, dewing turf.
Huskers have scored 2 touchdowns in this game. Rodriguez, a 10-yard pass reception, and Koniak, 35-yard pass reception, both for touchdowns.
So, yeah, it's still no Duvall, so we still got McCreel in there.
Let's see, is Duvall,
I think he's standing right in front of the tent. It's obviously alert, but maybe he did take a little bit of a shot.
Yeah. McCreel will hand it here to Rodriguez on the jet sweep. Rodriguez tried to cut up, and as he did, He ran right into the arms of a big Okanagan Sun defensive lineman, Usma.
Yeah, so he didn't have a chance of getting outside, so you're pulling your backside offensive lineman. Initially, you want Rodriguez running out. You want to get out between the tackle box and the sidelines, but because the D-line blew that up and forced him to cut up, he'd cut up into where all the linebacker support is, and that's not what Huskers wanted to do on that play.
Now McCreel going to go back to the air. Creel looking far sideline, then this one is intercepted. That's picked off.
Is that Fensky again?
I can't see if that's a 9 or a 0. It's Fensky.
No, I see 0 up
29,
blocking, so that's Fensky yet again, the local kid again.
His second interception of the night, or the afternoon, brings it back inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, just way too much air under that ball. And again, that's a tough window because you're trying to throw it behind the short coverage and in front of the deep coverage. But because there was so much air under that ball, all those coverage guys could converge on that one receiver.
Yeah.
And one of those Okanagan Sun defenders seemed like we're going to get a pick on that play.
Tough throw for backup quarterback, and they've gotten away from those quick passes that they had success for in the
and even
half.
on the very first pass McCreel did when he came into the game was a quick hitter that he delivered accurately. Yep.
So 1st and 10 Sun from the 17-yard line. Kruger with Peddle in the backfield. They fake it to Peddle. He's going to go down in the end zone. Knocked away, looking for Falconer.
And I think we might see the Sun get called for one of their receivers going offside. The top side judge or line judge is calling something.
Great play by the Huskers to knock that one away. I was knocked away by Sawyer Teether, who was burned on the Burden touchdown.
Yeah, offside Sun.
Official is
on the offense. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Are you surprised they declined the penalty?
No, because you're taking it down away from this offense in that red zone. So instead of being 1st and 15, it's 2nd and 10 now, right? So it's still 2nd and long.
They give the ball to Peddle. Peddle up the middle, fighting for yards down to the 10-yard line. And Peddle will be 2 yards short of the first down, but good run by Tristan Peddle.
Nice big power run by Peddle. Just coming up behind his tack. So you got, again, that motion. You got your slot back becoming the fullback. Find that initial seam and then just don't stop running. Don't stop moving your legs. Get your hogs moving that line of scrimmage. Just get as many yards as you can after contact.
That might be the best run for the Sun in this ballgame. So 3rd and 2, and they're going to go for it. We'll see if Noah comes in back in the ballgame. He does not, so he's going to stay on the sideline on a 3rd and 2. Kroger in a shotgun. Kroger's going to keep it himself and go up the middle. Has the first down and more as he gets tackled at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, good call by the Sun. You got enough misdirection here, so you got Faulkner coming across in this to show whether it's going to be a fake there, and then you got Peddle coming in as your lead blocker for your quarterback after that play action pass. And again, you just need enough to move those chains. Now you got a 1st and goal situation from the 5.
And Noah remains on the sideline. I'm surprised at. So 1st and goal from the 5. Peddle in the backfield, Kroger in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the left side. They hand the ball to Peddle. He'll go up the middle and right into the waiting arms of the Huskers defense. Job by the Huskers line of scrimmage to hold.
Yeah.
Offensive line.
So the linebackers at their depth, they can see that handoff quite clearly. There's no misdirection. There's nothing really hidden about that. So they're able, you get your 3 D linemen and the 3-4 front to secure their blocks or their gaps, and then those 4 linebackers can flow either strong or weak and find those seams, and it doesn't give much real estate for Peddle to run.
2nd and goal. From the 3, it'll be Kroger on the quarterback keeper. Kroger tries to turn back up towards the middle. He'll be short of the goal line, it looks like.
Half a yard, it looks like, when you see the side judge coming in from the sidelines.
Oh, yeah, it is just shy of the nose of the football.
Yeah, a designed run, but again, good job of the backside defensive lineman Tyson Hulgan, coming. He just crashes down and is able to chase down Kroger from behind, and that stops the forward momentum of Kroger and allows his teammates, the Husker teammates, to come in and help on that tackle.
Sun are going to call a timeout, which tells me
There's three timeouts in CJFL. Good job, Coach Casey.
Nice going. Nice going. How about our math, though? I'd like to point out our math was bang on there.
Oh, jeez.
9:58 to go. So next week is the 2024 BC Conference Cullen Cup. Could be hosted here if the Sun hang on and win this one. Otherwise, could you imagine if both road teams
Wow.
be a 3-4
Wow.
matchup in the conference final?
Can you bet on BCFC football? Some would be making some payoffs if that was the case.
And that'd be the case.
Both underdogs on the road.
It would be West Shore that would host.
They
the
would
championship,
host.
Who hosted the Canadian Bowl last year, and the Sun went into West Shore last year in the Cullen Cup and lost.
Yes.
So,
And had a chance that they should have in that game, respectively. There were so many mistakes that they were making in that game. They allowed the Rebels to claw back in that game.
Yeah.
Similar to what happened in that first matchup this season when the Sun came from behind and beat the Rebels on the road this year.
33-30, if I
Yep.
remember correctly.
You are correct, sir.
Well, 22-19 here is the score. After the timeout, the Sun are going to send in some big boys. Holtzma in the game, Hickenbottom in the game, Bond, and no quarterback.
Yeah, this
It's
is their
be Noah.
Wildcat with Noah, yeah.
Oh, Noah will take the handoff and get into the end zone for a touchdown. His second 1-yard touchdown run. His third touchdown of the ball game.
Wow. Sorry, we're just getting confirmation in the booth. The Rebels have won 25-21.
Wow.
They upset the Rams. Yep.
Wow. 25-21 Rebels. So the defending champs live on.
Yes.
Wow. Well, there's the replay. Here's the replay here. Noah is in the ball game as the quarterback takes the snap, as you mentioned, the Wildcat.
Yeah, you got a lot of big meat back there with Bond and Hickenbottom. You got these big D linemen, and they come off. And then with Noah, who's such a great runner, knowing that he's got more opportunities to have blocking fullbacks take on that initial contact, it's so easy for him to find a seam, especially on short yardage, and just get across that goal line.
he needed half a yard.
That is tough to stop.
29-19 now, the Sun with the lead. So the Langley Rams season comes to an end after a terrific regular season, 7-3 if I'm not mistaken.
They were, yes.
They have some very talented players on that team, but their season comes to a close. So the West Shore Rebels have punched their ticket to the Cullen Cup Championship. Who will they face? They could be coming here, or they could be hosting next week. I tell you, though, the Huskers need to get Duvall back into that ball game if they have any hope of winning this one, but he doesn't look like he's in any shape to come in.
No, he's
sitting
still
on.
under the tent.
Yeah. So Andrea and also Johnson back deep for the Huskers. Ball in the direction of Johnson. He'll get it to zone 5, and here he comes. Johnson gets to the 20, 25, and he's met there. And
Lewis,
I believe, that came through.
Good
with a
open
big
field
hit.
tackle by Lewis, yeah.
Here's the replay.
Yeah, so you said Andrea, he was coming across, so the non-returner came across the face of the Johnson who returned the ball to try and get a kick-out block outside of the wedge to give something for Johnson to see a lane, but of course a disciplined player like Lewis is going to make that tackle all day.
Johnson's hurt too. Johnson started off heading to the sideline, and now he's laying on his back on the field. There he is there. He's in a lot of discomfort.
Yeah, I wonder if he came down as they were twisting to the ground. I wonder if both their body weights just kind of came down. I think he's got to, he's thinking he doesn't.
Wanted to say.
No,
Unless
once
that's
you
the
have someone
decoy.
attend to you, you've got to
Yeah.
come off the field, son. You can't go right to the huddle. Nope.
He's thinking he's a decoy, he'll line up as a receiver, and everyone's forgotten about him.
Bounce up, run down the field.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. McCreel in a shotgun. Flip it here to, well, he was attending for Andrea, but out of his reach.
Just out of reach, and then, in front of Ninamani, I think, coming off into his zone coverage there.
It was at least an attempt at a short pass. And we talked about that.
Yeah.
That's the way they were able to move the ball down the field, but it's tough when it's now your backup.
No, exactly. You got your young backup quarterback. He's throwing the ball. You got Yobo, number 40, the defensive end, getting into that line of sight as well. He got a hand up as well that might have changed how he was delivering that football.
McCreel back to pass. This one knocked away. Trying for an intended receiver over the middle of the field. But a nice job. And I don't see who got their big mid up there, but knocked it down.
Yeah, and he's making his reads, and then it was just like a really just little dinky pass over the middle, but because you don't put a lot of pepper on that, it's easier for the D lineman to track that and swat that out of the air.
Not sure who got his hand up there.
Yeah, I couldn't see who was on that. One of the defensive tackles, I think. I don't think there was a stunt or inside movement by the DNs, but again, because it was low, not much on it, it's easy for the D-line. Get their mitts in there. You're not going to get there for a sack, so that's what you want your D-lineman to do. Is try and control the O-lineman with one hand, and then your offhand is up to try and mess up how the quarterback's delivering the football.
So quick 2-and-out by the Huskers. Falconers back deep to get this one. High kick, not very deep. It will go into the Sun bench. Almost hit the photographer. She's okay. And the referee will say that the ball went out at the 50-yard line.
Uh-oh. Is that roughing the kicker? It's the head ref that's throwing that, it looks like.
It's a late flag.
Or maybe unsportsmanlike if guys are starting to get mouthy against each other.
See what the official has to say here.
Or is he picking it up?
Nope. Flag on the play.
All right. No penalty. So the ball will be placed at the Husker 50-yard line. 9:05 remaining in this football game, at least in the fourth quarter. And maybe time starting to run out for the Huskers.
Yeah. Like you said, when your number one quarterback who's thrown for 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns is not back there being your field general.
So 1st and 10. Kroger remains in at quarterback. They fake to pedal this one, bounced up, and it falls incomplete. Banno was able to knock it up and couldn't quite find it as he was looking.
No, exactly. He couldn't track it. It was up in the air enough for him to do so, but he's coming off, so he's timing his blitz. You see that 3-4. Both outside linebackers are blitzing, and he just gets right into that passing lane of Kroger. And then Kroger smartly was able to track it, knocks that down into the turf, and collect himself for a second down play.
2nd and 10. Kroger will get some words from the coaching staff on the sideline before entering the huddle. He's in there now. And the Husker defense need a big stop here. Turnover would be better, but a stop would be what Coach Reese wants. Kroger back to pass. Going to go deep down the field looking for Falconer. He has the catch at the 5. Another diving catch by Falconer. We saw him catch the first one of the ball game. He's got another one here.
Yeah, and that's Maston and Teether in coverage. And I thought it might have been a hair underthrown because the way he started running backwards to try and track that, I thought maybe it might have gotten knocked down, but he had enough to just jump up a bit to outsource Teether and Maston in that coverage. And beauty pass and catch by the Okanagan Sun.
We'll see where they give him for momentum. They put it at the 5-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 5. This could be the nail right here. If the Sun can get into the end zone. They get to Peddle. Peddle is not going to get there. Good pursuit defense by the Huskers to keep him out. Gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Yeah, good recognition by the Huskers. Not only the pursuit, but getting that containment, but their secondary guys to help string that out, forcing him to run wide instead of cutting up and able to catch him from behind.
I guess at the 4-yard line, it's too far out to put the big jumbo package in. Do that with a yard or closer?
You could do it. I think arguably you could probably do it anywhere, really inside that 10-yard line, but you don't need to just yet, I would imagine.
Here's Kroger keeping himself. He'll get into
Nice
the end zone
decision.
for a touchdown.
I think it's the easiest run a quarterback's had today.
Yep. So Kroger adds his name to the scoreboard. And with 6:59 to go, the Sun now lead 35-19 with the extra point still to come.
Yeah, so the Sun were lined up in quads to that strong side, that right side. You got the running back who then vacates to the outside of that right tackle. So that spreads the defense out at the point of attack. So he just finds Do I need to go between the tackles or outside the tackle? Recognizes there's a mismatch, able to get outside, goes in untouched.
Extra point is good. So it's 36-19. And it would appear that the Cullen Cup will be here next weekend with West Shore in a rematch of last year's Cullen Cup championship game.
Yes. Just different venue.
Is it 3 years in a row? In 2022, when the Sun won the national championship, did they beat West Shore in the Cullen Cup? Don't know.
I want to say yes.
It was so 2 years ago. I don't know. It would have been here, that game.
Yes.
The Sun were 10-0, I believe that
and that's when they went on.
And they went to Regina and beat the Thunder in the national championship game on a very, very cold afternoon in November in Regina.
Yep.
I was there, and man.
Lucky you.
Oh.
I called the game from here. Nice and warm.
I tell you, I stayed in the press box. Here's the kick. And Johnson has it inside his own 10. He'll bring it out to the 20, the 25. Johnson to the 30, and that's about all for Johnson. Hopefully he gets up okay. We saw him injured the last time he returned a kick. Seems fine. So 6:53 to go, 36-19. It's been an entertaining game here.
We've seen a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We've seen some big plays by either team. We've seen some bonehead mistakes that cost both teams. We've seen some changes at quarterback that have obviously benefited the Okanagan Sun as opposed to the Huskers. And we've seen both defensive front sevens control the line of scrimmage at various times.
McCreel will remain in the ball game. His quick throw is to nobody in between Mora and Koniak.
I think he was trying to get Koniak to the way Koniak was kind of turned inside, and the way he was delivering the football, I think could only have been to Koniak, but he was thinking Koniak was going to break out away from that zone coverage instead of in. And that's probably just lack of reps, right? These guys probably haven't had a lot of reps with McCreel.
And Duvall is not in the ball game. I can't see him on the sideline. Not under the tent anymore, but I can't imagine him coming back in. That pass goes in and out of the hands of Andrea, almost picked off by Lewis, who didn't give up on the play.
No, he was trying. I think Andrea was trying to just see if he could pull it in really quick, knowing that the fact that it was high, he thought he was going to take a lick sooner. I think he thought the defenders were closer, and that's why he almost kind of like short-armed it or took his eyes off it, thinking, I got to brace myself for taking a rib shot. Yeah.
So another quick 2-and-out by this Huskers offense. Let's see if I can. Oh, maybe Duvall. He's not under the tent, but he's in front of it. See him standing there with the trainer, but yeah, he must have had his bell rung. So Falconer back to receive the punt from Yepin with 6:10 to go. Line drive kick picked up by Falconer at his own 45, gets to midfield and inside Husker territory and then out of bounds. That's awfully tough to cover, isn't it? A low line drive.
Yeah, you're not doing your coverage team any favors when the ball gets down that quick. Worst case scenario, if it's short, you want that super skyrock kind of kick where your coverage team can get down and at least limit the return to maybe 5 yards or less. But when it's a line drive and short, you know it's going to be maybe a net 20-yard kick, if that.
Under 6 to go in this BC Conference semifinal. Next week out in Ontario, of course, the Canadian Bowl in Ontario this year. St. Clair is going to host Ottawa in a 1-4 matchup, and the London Beefeaters are going to host the Quinte Skyhawks next Saturday. 1st and 10 for Kroger. Empty backfield. His quick throw is complete on the far sideline and getting a lot of extra yards after the reception is Griffin Lee with his first reception.
Yeah, that's that's the first time we've seen a legit wide receiver screen on that drop back. We saw them attempt it earlier in the third quarter, but that's when Kroger took it and then decided to run because the Huskers snuffed it out. So this was executed a lot more the way the Okanagan Sun have drawn it up. You get your three, you run quads, wide receiver steps back, the other three get downfield and block. You make that first guy miss, and then you get up the sidelines and get a first down.
Down to the Husker 40-yard line. Kroger fakes the handoff. His throw is tipped. A Husker came up with it, but I think it hit the ground before then.
Yeah, again, nice zone coverage. Really nice zone coverage. Tight window for Kroger to try and fit that ball in, wherein his receiver's trying to sit down in that pocket to give him that target. But just really, really good coverage. And then, yeah, really good effort of trying to get into that tip ball.
Bilo is the running back in the backfield as Petal and Noah, their afternoons may be done. With a 36-19 lead with 4:45 to go. Kroger in a shotgun. Back to pass. Kroger wants to go deep. A high arcing ball looking for his intended receiver, but it sails out of bounds. He was looking for Walker, and it goes incomplete.
Put a lot of air on that one.
There was a lot of air.
Yeah. And the Huskers were bringing it too. I think they were bringing an all-out blitz, so maybe Kroger recognized that it was going to be cover 0. If he can get his receiver getting a half step on his defender, he might be able to throw him open, but it was just going out of bounds instead of trying to maybe go 3 or 4 yards right at the at the sidelines, just ahead of his receiver.
So the drive stalls, and the Sun will kick it away. Hey, the punter, Andrea, the punt returner. They do kick it away. Good high kick. Andrea has it go through his hands. It's a loose ball, and the Sun will get it. It's Tristan Petal with the fumble recovery. It went right through the hands of Andrea.
Andrea's not arguing, so he obviously knows that he put some mitts on. I didn't know if he just completely whiffed.
Just went.
But yeah, no, right through his hands. Yep. And that's Petal. Yeah, good job, Petal, jumping all over that.
He just lost sight of it, I think, for a second.
Yeah, I think he overcommitted just how short he thought it was going to be, and then it was you're backpedaling and fully extended. That's a tough catch for anybody.
And that thing's up there a long time, too, and all you can think of is, I can hear footsteps. So 1st and 10 from the 10. Kroger in a shotgun. Going to keep it. Tries the right side. Good pursuit by the Husker defense. Bano will bring him down. And Bano flipped over, look like he's hurt, and he is late.
Yeah, I think it might have been friendly fire as they're coming in, as Kroger's running. And they both get to there at the same time. Oh, maybe not. I think it's just the way they twisted down. It might have been the body weight of Kroger as they kind of opened up the arms of Bano as they were going down to the ground.
That is a midsection lower body injury.
Oh.
I don't know if it took a knee or a foot or something in that area. That's a tough one. Loss of 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 12. Kroger, Bilo in the backfield. Kroger going to go to the air. Kroger has time over the middle of the field. Incomplete. Looking for his intended receiver. Looks like Kropp was his intended receiver.
Yeah, tough window there. Ofashuene, number 30, and the linebacker was able to knock that down. Good coverage just right there in that. I think he thought he was going to clear that faster into that zone because there was a zone window there, but it was just too tight, and Ofashuene was able to knock that down.
He's a good kid. I had a chance to talk to him before the game. We interviewed him, and just a really good kid who was a basketball player, played all sorts of sports growing up, and then finally came home one day and said, I'm going to play football.
Nice.
Yeah. Field goal attempt here for Atwood. It's a mishandle on the snap, and the Huskers recover the fumble.
Yeah, the field goal team for the Okanagan Sun, I think anyways, in my opinion, hasn't been as automatic as it should be for a high-caliber team like this. This today would probably put them below an 80% efficiency, I think, maybe even closer to a low 70s. But when you've got a quality kicker and a quality long snapper, this should be something that minimum you should be in the 90s, if not automatic all day long.
It's tough to see the snap hit him in the leg, or if he just...
I think it was kind of low end, almost like cross his body there, 2Ts. You're right. I think it was towards his leg, but even low as well. So not only are you trying to turn the hips, but you got to collect it.
First down for the Huskers. Are going to go deep down the field. It's a jump ball, and it will be Lake with the reception. Great job by Peyton Lake to use his body to shield it and make the reception.
Lake against, is it 3 defenders on that?
Yeah. What a catch.
By the time
Peyton
that ball
Lake.
came
Look at
down,
that.
yeah, well, at least 2 anyways, right at him. Yep.
Creel just threw it up for a bit of a prayer, and it was answered. So 1st and 10 after the big gain. Ball at the 49-yard line. 2:44 to go. I'm not sure what the delay is here. Moving the chains. The chain gang's a bit confused. And now the ref blows it in. Creel going to go to the air again. Here comes the pressure, and the Sun defense will collect the sack. Whistles blowing.
Yeah, good coverage sack here by the Okanagan Sun. So zone coverage, they get into hip pocket at the short. So he only had time to make his first read because that pocket was collapsing so quick. And once that happens, there's no way that you can collect yourself and try and bounce out the back end and scramble. You're just trying to hold that ball on and not turn it over.
Creel with his helmet off. If you're a Husker fan, you hold your breath there for a second because he's the backup. He can't be hurt. Loss of 5 on the play, 2nd and 15 from their 44. McCreel in a shotgun, empty backfield. Here comes the Sun. The throw is over the head and intercepted. Picked up. That could be Feneke again.
No, Ferreira.
All the way to the end zone. It's Ferreira.
About 50, 55-yard, pick 6, yep.
And that should do it here for this one.
That should be the icing on the cake
See
there.
where he made the pick here. That's his 2nd interception. Fenke has 2.
Yep.
Or Fenske, pardon me. 2:17 to go, the Sun. Now the
Orhot's got
commanding.
1 or 2 as well. Maybe definitely
He
1.
has
So
1,
at least
and then 1
5.
was called
Yep,
on,
that's
off
right.
on a penalty.
Yep.
And that would add the extra point. Kick is up and good. So 43-19. It'll be the Sun and the Rebels next week for the Cullen Cup. And the winner of that game will then go to the Prairies for a national semifinal game. The winner of that game will go to Ontario for the Canadian Bowl.
So to come out of the BC Conference, you got 4 victories to get the national championship this year.
That's right.
4 wins gets you the
Two
national
playoffs,
championship.
And
yeah.
then the national semi, and then the Canadian Bowl. That's right.
Well, as I guess the Ontario would be too, right? Because they were doing they had 3. They had quarterfinals.
Well, they had quarterfinal, but the first 2 first 2 seeds had a bye. So
Oh, of course.
semi,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yes. That's right. It wasn't 8 teams. It was 6 teams. Yes.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, all good.
Yeah. So 3, 3, and
The
4.
Prairies would have to play semi, a final, a national final, a national semifinal, and a final as well.
So the non-hosting national championship team is 1 less victory to secure.
Yeah.
I guess that's how it works. Yeah.
Johnson gets it at his own 10. He gets to the 20, the 25. Johnson hauls forward to the 30, tackled about the 33, 34-yard line, and that's where the Huskers will take over with 2:11 remaining in this one. 43-19.
Yeah, there's not much else you can do on either side of the ball, right? Sun's going to be in prevent.
Yep.
Just sit back, let this clock wind down. Huskers will try and get some garbage yardage at this point, even if you can catch someone napping and put up 7 points. But beyond that, realistically, there's not much else you can do by changing this scoreboard at this point.
You need about a 20-point score here.
Which is too bad considering how their first half, they were like, hey,
well. Yeah.
we're taking some punches, but we're giving some back.
Yeah. And they had the lead in this one as well. 17-7 at one point. McCreel will just take off. His throw is complete to Lake, who took a big pop as soon as he made the catch. It's a 9-yard pickup. I thought McCreel may have been past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, no, he did a good job of recognizing where that was, and yeah. Good delivery, but yeah, good catch by Lake, knowing he was going to take a big pop.
2nd and 1, or less than a yard. McCreel in his shotgun. He's going to go to the air again. His pass is intercepted.
Oh,
Fensky with a pick, and he'll go all the way to the house for a touchdown.
Jeez.
Back-to-back pick sixes for this Sun defense.
I wonder what the playoff record is for Okanagan Sun of how many interceptions they've had in a game. Because that's 6, I think.
That's 6?
Because Fensky's got 2, Ferreira's got 2, Borhat's got 1. And didn't we have, was there Williams? No, he almost dove. Wish I had my real-time stats going in here. But anyways, they've been ball hawks for the mistakes that, now they're obviously you're forcing in the Huskers to try and do too much to try and stay in this game. But good job by the secondary of the Okanagan Sun.
The extra point still to come. It is up and good. And the Sun have now put up 50 points.
What a fourth quarter.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns in this fourth quarter, 2 of them courtesy of the pick 6. Kroger, a 3-yard touchdown run. Noah, a single-yard touchdown run on a Wildcat play. And there was no scoring in the third quarter. So a ton of points put up by the Sun, 28 points here in the fourth quarter. I didn't read my writing, I apologize.
So yeah, so five picks then for the Sun.
I've got 5 picks, but unofficially.
But that's 7 in the game, right? Because is that 2 that the Huskers have?
Yeah, Maston has 2.
Jeez.
A lot of mistakes in a playoff game, too. Credit both defenses. The Huskers just ran out of steam, and really the field position was not in their favor defensively because once Duval went down, they just didn't have the opportunity to
then you're
sustain
against
a
the
drive.
clock and everything,
Good adjustments by the Sun in the second half as well. And I don't know if it was the adjustments or the Huskers just went away from those short passes. Those line drive kick picked up by one of the big defensive linemen. You better secure that football. You're not used to carrying it.
I think that's Reimer, who we've said his name quite a bit on specials this afternoon.
Pushed out of bounds here with 1:33 to go.
He wanted some return stats.
Well,
Late in the game, it's over. He's like,
him.
I'm taking this.
With those yellow gloves. I love the yellow gloves.
Travis Kelce out there.
Yeah. But it matches the Huskers to the green, gold, and white. I guess Travis also matches his jersey color. But whatever. I like the yellow. So 1:33 to go. 50-19. The Huskers just trying not to throw pick 6 this time. Last 2 possessions ended that way. McCreel will give the ball here to Andrea. Andrea will try to get to the corner right in front of his own bench and just run out of real estate. Williams was waiting for him. Picked up maybe 4.
Yeah, maybe get a 4 yards on that. Just kind of trying to work his way, seeing if there was some opportunity to cut up, and there just wasn't, as the Sun defense just continued to kind of wash it down that line of scrimmage and limit how much he was able to get trying to find a seam.
You know, Harb hasn't been in this game either. Harb is under the tent as well, along with Duval. So their 2 arguably lethal weapons are out of this ball game and have been for a while. Here's the jet sweep over to Rodriguez, who's been good here tonight. Rodriguez should have a first down. Nice play, cut up at just the right time.
Yeah, enough for him to get the wheels coming around. Again, they're pulling that backside guard to try and secure that. They're not fast enough, the O-line for the Huskers, compared to the D-line of the Sun, but they did enough to give that initial seam, and that's how Rodriguez was able to push that up to at least get the first down.
1st and 10 now from their own 46-yard line. McCreel with Andrea in the backfield. They're going to give it to Andrea. He'll go up the middle. Andrea with a little bit of room to run, gets to midfield. Tackled there by Yobo. Picked up, looks like 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, just big on big, straight up, kind of between the tackles. Andrea's a good runner as well. He's got a good low center of gravity, tough legs. Just kind of get behind your guards and tackles and just get them moving that line of scrimmage.
2nd and 2. Jet sweep. And this one will be carried up the field for the first down by Koniak. So a couple runs up the middle and then 2 jet sweeps seems to be the recipe for the Huskers here as the clock continues to wind down.
Yeah, you're going up against the bench players now of the Sun. You're getting in the second string on the D-line and linebackers and halfbacks, so you're going to get yardage and move the ball.
Creel back to pass. Sun are in on him, and they'll make the tackle. It's not a sack because he got back to the line of scrimmage.
But didn't really have any, really only had 4 receivers downfield, really only 3 because Cognac was way short left, but the coverage was just because they're in prevent defense, keeping everything in front of them.
Yeah.
There was nowhere for McCreel to go to deliver that football.
And the coverage broke down on the Husker offensive line pretty quick. This should be the last play of this semifinal with 10 seconds to go. McCreel sending everyone in motion. He'll go back to pass. McCreel going deep down the field looking for Johnson. It falls incomplete. And the Okanagan Sun are going to advance to the Cullen Cup and will host the Cullen Cup next week against the West Shore Rebels. It was a good first half.
It was.
Good third quarter. Nobody scored in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And then the wheels fell off the Huskers here.
Reality set back in, especially losing, as you said, your top running back and top quarterback.
Yeah. Not much you could do after that to move the football down the field. The backup McCree, he tried, but the 2 pick sixes didn't help. And there were mistakes as fatigue started to set in as well. And Tyron Duvall down there gets a big hug as well. He's got a towel on his head. And you feel for a guy like that. He had such a nice regular season. And unfortunately gets injured. Great first half, too. And I think it was the fourth quarter. No, it was the third quarter when he went down.
Yeah, it was late in the third quarter. Sorry, yeah.
So congratulations on the Huskers on their season. 5 wins this year.
Yep.
A couple of heartbreakers, including that one last week, which would have put them in the 2-3 game rather than the 1-4 game. And congratulations to the Sun, who are moving on with a 50-19 victory. Just quickly, because we don't have a lot of commercials or anything for a post-game show, Jason, but player of the game? You got anybody? On the Huskers, I don't mind Johnson. I think we called his name quite.
Yeah, I don't mind
quite
Johnson
often.
on that. Yeah, I don't mind Johnson. And then, like, defender, you could take Ferreira or Fensky on the Sun. I might tip my hat to Fensky maybe because I saw him with a couple of nice knockdowns as well, a couple of tackles. But, yeah, maybe Fensky for defender, player of the game, maybe Johnson for the Huskers. And then play of the game, I mean, there's quite a few big ones.
The catch by Rodriguez for their 10-yard touchdown strike down.
Yeah, that was a beauty. That was a beautiful
catch.
diving catch. Yes. Yeah, I do like that. I would tip my hat to the losing team Huskers on 2 of those choices. Yep.
On the offensive side for the Sun, there weren't a lot of.
It wasn't a standout
plays.
game from anybody. They did enough to hang in and allow their defense to do the lion's share of today's workload, and sometimes that's what you got to do, right? The old
5
adage of
interceptions.
defense wins championships come playoff time, right? So when things are sputtering on the offensive side of the ball and your defense needs to hold the opponent to only 19 points, well, that's what's got to happen, and the rest happens where, okay, we'll put points up as well with some pick sixes. So.
And they pitched a second half shutout, too. So
Yep.
congratulations to the Sun.
Yep.
Boy, that was fun.
It's a good tilt.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. So next week, the Sun are going to host the West Shore Rebels in the 2024 Cullen Cup BC Championship game right here at the Apple Bowl. Game time and ticket information is coming sometime this week, I understand.
I would imagine they're trying to determine that quite early in the week, so all the
imagine.
respective teams and fans can make the right adjustments, especially for the Rebels because they're coming from the island, right?
So the ferry schedule can be kind of tricky as well. So on behalf of color analyst Jason Casey, our engineers here at the stadium today put on a great production. My name is Ryan Waters. So long from the Apple Bowl. It was Kroger who came in and played in that ball game, but Philippek played in the last game. Philippek wants to go down the field right away, looking for Falconer, who makes a diving catch. It was Kroger who came in and played in that ball game, but Philippek played in the last game. Philippek wants to go down the field right away, looking for Falconer, who makes a diving catch. Their offensive set. Duvall back to pass, going to go to the air again, over the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off and bringing it back the other way and tackled at about their offensive set. Duvall back to pass, going to go to the air again, over the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off and bringing it back the other way and tackled it about. Going to go to the air again. Philippek looking, sets up the screen to Noah. Noah has it at 20-15. Little blocking in front. 10-5. Touchdown! Going to go to the air again. Philippek looking, sets up the screen to Noah. Noah has it at 20-15. Little blocking in front. 10-5. Touchdown! Going to go to the air again. Philippek looking, sets up the screen to Noah. Noah has it at 20-15. Little blocking in front. 10-5. Touchdown!
Situation to get that out before the linebackers can get set.
No huddle by the Huskers as Duvall will send it here near side. Koniak makes a reception, breaks a tackle, gets into Sun territory. 10, 15, 20 finally runs into some traffic, gets through the hole to the 30, 35, 40, sheds a tackle, fumble. Ball on the ground, and it will be picked up.
Split up, but kind of hamstrung the coverage.
Down to the Sun, 44. There's a jet sweep, a reverse. Koniak has it on the reverse, has some room to run to the 40, the 35. Koniak gets to the corner of the 20, the 15, 10, and be pushed out of bounds. Early stages, second quarter. Duvall with 4 receivers to his left side. Duvall going to go down the middle, has a man, dive, touchdown, Rodriguez. Early stages, second quarter. Duvall with 4 receivers to his left side. Duvall going to go down the middle, has a man, dive, touchdown, Rodriguez. Play, so 2nd and 8. Philippek going to go to the air, has time down the field, far sideline, it's intercepted. Picked off. Back the other way is Masden to the 30, the 20, the 15. There's the kick, it is up, and it is good. And the Huskers tack on 3 more points. 17-7 with 12:08 remaining so far in this semifinal. Duvall, another short drop. This one is intercepted. Picked off. Fensky with the interception. Fence is shuffling around now. 3 receivers. That was Melanson in motion. They give it to Noah again. Noah trying to get to the corner side. Step to the 10, the 5. Noah stretches. And first and goal from the 1. They give it to Noah right up the middle. Noah gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's tough to stop.
First and goal from the 1. They give it to Noah right up the middle. Noah gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's tough to stop.
First and 10 after the penalty. Duvall running for his life. He'll run out of real estate. Bounces off one tackler, still with the football. Throws it downfield. Has a man. Koniak with a reception. Stepped out of bounds. There's that formation again. They send everybody to the left side. They give it to Peyton Lake. Who's going to throw? Lake throws it down the field. It's intercepted. He's got 4 on the left side. Philippek going to go down the field, has Burden, he makes the reception and gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
What a great, I'm not sure.
Got 4 on the left side. Philippek going to go down the field, has Burden, he makes the reception and gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
What a great, I'm not normal what we've seen out of Duvall.
Down the field here, this one is intercepted. Picked off by Barhot. Barhot has it to the 40 and he'll be tackled. Husker 50-yard line. Noah back in the game. He wasn't in that first set. In the second half, Philippek fakes to him down the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off. Some motion there by the Sun offense. Kroger back to pass. Looking left side. He's got his man. This Walker makes the reception at the 32. Trying to make a move. Nobody. Krill looking far sideline. Then this one is intercepted. That's picked off.
Is that Fensky again?
I can't see if that's a 9 or a 0. Bond and no quarterback.
Yeah, this is their wildcat with Noah, yeah.
Oh, Noah will take the handoff and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Bond and no quarterback.
Yeah, this is their wildcat with Noah, yeah.
Oh, Noah will take the handoff and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Bond and no quarterback.
Yeah, this is their wildcat with Noah, yeah.
Oh, Noah will take the handoff and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Coach Reese wants. Kroger back to pass. Going to go deep down the field looking for Falconer. He has the catch at the 5. Coach Reese wants. Kroger back to pass. Going to go deep down the field looking for Falconer. He has the catch at the 5.
You could probably do it anywhere, really inside that 10-yard line, but you don't need to just yet, I would imagine.
Here's Kroger keeping himself. He'll get into the end zone for a touchdown.
You could probably do it anywhere, really inside that 10-yard line, but you don't need to just yet, I would imagine.
Here's Kroger keeping himself. He'll get into the end zone for a touchdown.
Arguably, you could probably do it anywhere, really inside that 10-yard line, but you don't need to just yet, I would imagine.
Here's Kroger keeping it himself. He'll get into
Nice
the end zone
decision.
for a touchdown. They do kick it away. Good high kick. Andrea has it go through his hands. It's a loose ball, and the Sun will get it. It's Tristan.
Even low as well, so not only are you trying to turn the hips, but you got to collect it.
First down for the Huskers. Are going to go deep down the field. It's a jump ball, and McCreel in a shotgun, empty backfield. Here comes the Sun. The throw is over the head and intercepted. Picked up. That could be Feneke again.
No, Ferreira.
All the way to the end zone. It's Ferreira. The shotgun. He's going to go to the air again. His pass is intercepted.
Oh,
Fenske with a pick, and he'll go all the way to the house for a touchdown.